Students, can you see me? Okay, okay, perfect. I think I'm very much live on the channel. Yes, I'm very much live. If you're able to hear me, kindly send a yes. If you're able to hear me, but kindly send a yes. Okay, very good morning, Malika. Very good morning, Arya. Yes, Sanmita, Moksha, very good morning. Very good morning, all others. Chaliye, come on fast. We'll be starting with the session very fast. Come on, आ जाएं बेटा सभी जन फटाफट आ जाएं. Yes, Abhijit, Kirti, Ritesh, Moksha. Okay, very good morning. So, chalo, I am very much audible. Yes, I am sure you are all very much excited to start this session, right? So, today we are going to start with the revision of cost accounting, okay, cost and management accounting, in fact. Yes, fantastic. Very good morning, all of you. Okay, so yes. Come on, join fast. Yes, we'll be starting in a minute. राइट विल बी स्टार्टिंग इन अ मिनट है ना. 1 मिनट में हम लोग बेटा स्टार्ट कर देंगे लेक्चर. जल्दी से आ जाएं और अगर आपके कोई फ्रेंड्स हैं हु विश टू जॉइन, कम ऑन, लेट देम नो दैट द लेक्चर हैव स्टार्टेड. कम ऑन. ओके, चलो, आई थिंक वी कैन स्टार्ट दिस सेशन नाउ. ओके, सो first of all, I wish you very good morning. Okay, and let us start with this session. So for those students who don't know me, let me introduce myself for you. I'm CA Vivek Malu. I'm a chartered accountant. I have been teaching to students from past 12 years now. Okay, and I have taught thousands of students till date. Okay, thousands of students I have taught, and with respect to costing also, I have taken numerous batches by now. Okay, so I have also cleared my CA exam, okay, in the very first attempt, okay, and I'll make sure that when you will be doing the revisions, I'll share the ways to do this. I'll share the tactics how you can easily memorize the concepts, easily memorize the important formulas, and what techniques, what tricks you can use to solve the complicated problems of cost accounting in a very much simpler way. Okay, I'll try to give you as many details as possible. Okay. But yes, definitely you will also have to give in your interaction. Okay, I'm able to see your messages. Come on, everybody, keep interacting. The more you interact, the more I feel motivated to do this. Okay, chaliye, fantastic. Now, yes, let's start. Come on, let's start. Okay, so first of all, let me give you the basics. Let me give you the brief of the subject. I'm sure there's a revision session, so you all are aware of the concept. Now you are all aware of the topic. Okay, the subject, that is this cost and management accounting. Okay, this subject is having in all, actually there you can see we have clubbed some chapters. Okay, there are actually in all roughly 15 chapters in your syllabus. Okay, out of 15 we are clubbing some chapters. Okay, so the numbers actually get reduced to a certain extent. But remember that when we'll be doing this revision, this will be you can say from your only and only from your exam point of view. Okay, because right now we are in front of the exam is just now, I guess, 45 days away. Okay, so we'll be focusing entirely on from exam perspective. Okay, ab koi time pass nahi hoga, nothing like that. Okay, we'll be focusing purely from the exam perspective. We'll be looking at the questions also from the exam perspective only. Okay, we'll be looking questions, we'll be seeing the pattern and everything. Okay, from again your exam perspective, like how you have to solve the questions, how you like, what are the different questions that are going to be asked, what is going to be the exam pattern. This is all I'll be sharing with you. Okay. So now, first of all, let me start with like how exactly is our exam going to be held. I know some of you may be already having the idea how is exam going to be held, what are the different, how many questions are there and whatnot. Okay, but I'll give you a brief idea for those students who have just till now just kept on studying but not exactly focused how is going to be the exam pattern. So first of all, let me tell you how exactly is going to be the exam pattern. Okay, I think I'm not able to see your chats. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, students. Perfect now. Perfect. Students, if you are able to hear me, if you are able to talk to me, come on, please send a hi on the chat so that I'll be able to see your messages. Please send a hi. If I'm able to see the hi message on my screen, then I'll be understanding that yes, you are getting all the messages, you are getting all the, like you are able to hear me, you are able to see me like that. Come on, send a hi or something. Okay, 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 okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Chali. But yeah, so now you're able to see me. Yes, now I am comfortable that you're able to see me and I'm able to see your messages actually. Okay. Since the lecture is actually getting streamed on two channels at one point of time, so I'm using a different thing to see the chat messages. I'm not able to see on directly on YouTube. Okay, that's the thing. Chali. Students, so now let me tell you about the exam pattern and all that. Okay, and then we'll be then we'll be directly starting with the real content. Okay, we'll not be wasting our time. We'll not be wasting time in any case because we have to finish the revisions in just 15 hours. Remember, this is a conceptual marathon. We are going to cover each and every concept which is important from exam perspective. Okay, and remember, there'll be some problem solving also included in this. Okay, plus we'll be focusing more from exam oriented view. Now, question number one, see, your paper is of 100 marks. As we all know, your paper is of 100 marks, out of which question 1 is a compulsory question. Okay, question 1 is a compulsory question. This question actually has seen in almost every exam. This is having 4 sub questions, A, B, C and D, all of them for 5 marks. And this is a compulsory question. You cannot skip this. Okay, I'll be telling you like what is the pattern of ICF, which kind of questions are normally coming in compulsory questions. I'll be sharing all the data. Question 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So question number 1, as you can see, 5, 5, 5, 5, this is actually for 20 marks. Question 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all are of 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. Now students, question number 1 is compulsory for 20 marks, and out of the remaining 5, out of the remaining 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you have to attempt any 4. You don't have to attempt all the 5. You have to attempt any 4. Let us say you may choose like 2, 3, 5 and 6. Okay, you may ignore question number 4 like that. Okay, so you have to choose any 4 out of the 5 and that will fetch you 80 marks and the total is of 100 marks. Out of which, now this question is asked by a lot of students, said, do we have to prepare theory and all that? So remember, in your entire paper, generally theory question is only and only asked in question number 6. Question number 6 is a purely theory question. Okay, so in which all the theory questions will be clubbed over here. Okay, so generally those students who are very much comfortable with the practicals and not the theory, what they can plan is they can do the question 1, which is obviously a mandatory question, then question 2, 3, 4 and 5. So they may not opt the theory questions if you are not comfortable with that. But those students who are not comfortable with solving the practical problems, what they can do is they can skip any of this above questions. Obviously, they are going to skip a chapter like, the chapter which you may find very difficult. Maybe you may, like many students actually tend to, ignore standard costing or maybe contract costing like that. Okay, so any chapter which you don't like, so question based on that you may skip, and then you may try to solve the theory questions. Okay, like that. So question number 1 is compulsory for 20 marks, and then from remaining 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you have to attempt any four. So that is 80 marks. Sir, do we have one single question of 20 marks? No, students. Almost every question will have two sub questions, like question number 2A for 10 marks, 2B for 10 marks, like that. Everywhere you will be having sub questions. Okay, it may happen that in 3 you may have 3 sub, like one is 10 marks, second is 6 marks, and the third one is 4 marks. This is also possible. Okay, like that. Okay, so generally you will never find a question of 20 marks in your chapter, in your paper. Okay, but you will find like questions of 10 marks, 6 marks, 4 marks, 5 marks, 5 marks, like that. Okay, so that this can be a pattern. 10, 6, 4. You can also have 10, 5, 5. Okay, that is also possible. But maximum I have seen that they generally prefer 10, 10, and one of the question is generally split into either 10, 6, 4 or 10, 5, 5, like that. Now, students, so this is your general pattern. Any doubts till now? This is your general pattern of your paper. Okay. See, I'm showing you this because we are doing it from exam perspective only directly now. In 45 days, we are going to face the paper. So this is going to be your pattern. Any doubts till now? Anything you wish to know? Okay. Okay. I think I'm getting your messages by a lag, I feel. Okay. Okay. I'm not getting any doubts till now. Good. Now, Now, let me tell you what exactly questions are coming, like what exactly are getting, asked in the compulsory questions these days. Okay, so in compulsory question, because why I'm telling you this, because all these questions are always in options. You can always skip question number 2, or you can skip question number 3. Like whichever chapter you don't like, you may skip that. But for compulsory questions, we should be very, very careful. Now, I'll tell you the pattern in the recent papers, what I have seen. Okay. So, in these questions, normally what I have seen these days, from past 2 exams, like May 23 and the just previous one, okay, that was November 22. Okay. I had seen like questions based on batch costing. There's a most ignored topic. Okay, it's a very, very simple topic, we all know that. Okay, it has been asked in a compulsory question. Okay, batch costing, labor, materials. Now materials is one of the most important topics of your syllabus. Okay, materials, it has been asked in compulsory question in almost all the papers. Okay, except for May 23, okay, which was just the recent paper. Okay, except for that paper, it was asked in compulsory question in almost all the papers. Okay, so material is very, very important. This time they have asked in on like a compulsory question on labor. Okay, so batch is there, labor is there, materials is there, and one of the most important, marginal costing. Marginal costing has been asked in May 23 also, in November 22 also. Okay, that was asked in a compulsory question. Service sector costing, that is basically operating costing, we all know that. Okay, so this was also asked in a compulsory question. So these days they are focusing more on these topics. So remember, these topics you should never keep in option, because this is a part of the compulsory question. Okay, this you should never and never keep in options. Okay, batch, labor, materials, marginal, and service costing. Okay, in recent papers ICAI is asking questions on this, so definitely you have to focus more on this. Okay, so this is all about the paper pattern. I think I'm very much clear about the pattern and the topics on which you have to put much stress. By the way, whenever we'll be starting each and every chapter, I'll be always telling you how much is exactly the weightage of this chapter. How many questions can you expect from this chapter? I'll be telling you each and every time. Okay, don't worry about it. And anytime you feel like asking anything, just drop a message in your chat box. That's it. Okay. Perfect, students. Perfect. So now let's go ahead. If you have any queries, just drop it in the chat box. Okay. Now, students, as you can see over here, this is the revision material, okay, which is with us, okay, which will be shared in your groups also. Okay, I hope all of you have registered with the with the Google form which was shared. Okay, so those who haven't registered yet, kindly register so that you'll get added to the group and you'll be getting all these notes and everything. Okay, now students, as you all know, the first topic of this syllabus is actually introduction to cost and management accounting, which is a purely theory topic, right? Which is a purely theory topic. I'm not going to take this first. I'm not going to take this first. The reason is very simple, because theory questions are actually coming in the end, right? Theory questions are coming in the end, which you can always skip also. Okay, I know we are not going to skip this topic, but the thing is, this is a purely theory chapter. Okay, so we'll be focusing it on in the very end. The reason being, the later we do the theory part, the more you'll be able to retain that stuff. Okay, so I'm not taking it right away. Okay, but any topic, if I feel knows this is important for my students, I'll be definitely taking that first. Okay, don't worry about it. I'll definitely give you some brief also. Okay, so that you'll be able to start with the revisions and all that. Now, students, our subject is cost and management accounting. Cost and management accounting, in which obviously we are going to study the cost and all that. Now, what is cost? Cost is basically anything you pay. Okay, cost is anything that you actually pay. Okay, so that is costing. Okay, that is cost. And the cost is basically the resource which you give up. Okay, so that is cost. And with the process of calculating this cost, the process of ascertaining this cost is nothing but costing. Now, the first topic what I'm going to start today is actually materials. Okay, so everybody do come to this topic, materials cost. Why I'm taking this topic as first? Because I have told you this so many times earlier also, I'm focusing from your exam perspective. In exams, it has been seen in almost all papers, materials have been asked in almost every paper. Okay, in almost every paper, that too in a compulsory question. So I'm starting with materials cost. Now, what are we going to learn in this chapter? See, materials cost. First, I'll tell you what all we are going to see in this chapter. First, we'll be seeing in this chapter, that is landed cost. Okay, now what is this landed cost? Basically, materials अपने यहाँ पे कितने में आया? Material, what all will you include in the cost of the materials is covered in this topic, landed cost. Like you may would have heard, like if there is a octroi which is paid on transit of materials, we have to add that. Okay, there are transport charges, there is insurance, we have to add that. But if there is a penalty, we should not add that, right? If there is you can say any loss, any abnormal situation, okay, any abnormal, maybe fines or damages or demurrage, we should not add that. But if there are some containers, we may add, we will not add, and all that stuff. Okay, so first we'll be seeing is the landed cost. In the second thing, we'll be studying with the entire procedure for issue of materials. For issue of materials, in which we'll be seeing various instruments like a bill of materials, material requisition note, purchase requisition note, and all that. So the procedure for issue of materials will be covering over here. Then in this chapter, we'll be studying with a very important concept, that is EOQ, economic order quantity, how much quantity we have to order. Okay. The fourth concept what we'll be touching over here is the various levels. Now, what are the various levels? Like there are reorder level, there is a maximum level, minimum level, and you have the reorder level, maximum level, minimum level, average level, danger level, and like that. Okay, so we'll be taking all those levels. Then in this chapter, we also have this analysis like ABC analysis and high, medium cost, high, medium, low analysis, and slow moving, non moving, fast moving, vital, essential, desirable. So this kind of analysis will be taking over here. We'll be studying the cost measurement techniques. In this, We'll be covering with FIFO, LIFO. Have you heard of them? FIFO, LIFO, simple average, weighted average, right? Standard price method, replacement, realizable value, and so much, right? So cost measurement techniques will be taken. Okay, this is again important from your exam perspective. Then be taking some ratios, inventory turnover ratio. Okay, we'll be covering with inventory turnover ratio. So this is all in this chapter. Okay, and last but not the least, we'll be covering like how to handle waste, scrap, obsolescence. You have waste is there, scrap is there, defectives are there, spoilage is there, right? So how to handle all this? This is all also included in this chapter, materials. So material is a huge chapter, and there no doubt why institute has been asking more questions on this, because this is a very important question. Now this is a very important topic. Okay, it is having a lot of coverage as well. Now स्टूडेंट्स हैव यू ऑल अंडरस्टूड? एक आइडिया आ गया, कुछ याद आया, आपने ये सब किया हुआ है, यू हैव ऑल डन दिस. गुड्स की कॉस्ट में क्या लेना क्या नहीं लेना, right? Bill of materials, material acquisition note, purchase acquisition note. There is some economic order quantity. There are various levels, reorder level, maximum, minimum, and like that. You have this ABC analysis. You have this FIFO, LIFO. You have the inventory turnover ratios also. For how many days you have this inventory in your stock and all that. You have also done this waste, scrap, obsolescence, defective, spoilage. They have all done this. So I'm just giving you a brief what exactly is going to be covered in this chapter. This is a bigger chapter. I'll be spending some time on this. Okay, this is a bigger chapter, and I want you to crack this. I want you to, score full marks in the questions which are going to be asked from this topic. This is a very easy topic as well. I hope everybody it is clear by now. Okay, you have understood what are the contents of the entire chapter that we are going to touch. Materials. Okay, I normally get a message by after some lag. Okay, after some delay. I'm waiting for the messages to come. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Very, very good. Please keep on talking. The more you interact, the more I enjoy, the more you enjoy, and the more interactive session it's going to be, the more you will learn. Simple as that. Okay. And if you have any doubt, even the smallest of the doubts, please ask. Okay, so that your query will also get clear, and somebody else, if they are also having the same query, that will also get addressed. Okay, so keep asking. Okay, always keep asking. Now students, material cost. Okay, so first of all, we'll be seeing what all things do we have to include, do we have to incorporate in the cost of the goods. Okay, so whenever we are taking the purchase price of the goods, first of all, you should know that you have to add up any insurance charge, if there it is. Okay, if there is any insurance charge, if there is any commission, brokerage, and all that. Okay, you are paying that to bring them. Okay, to purchase them, so you have to add that. Freight inward is there. Cost of container is there. Now cost of container, in this particular cost of container, I have to tell you. Now everybody keep answering. Okay, keep answering that. Now suppose students, there are some containers, like for example, I have brought, let's say, materials worth rupees 10,000, and it came with a container. It came in a container worth rupees 200, and this is non-refundable, non-returnable. Okay. Now, can you tell me this 200 rupees, do I have to add in the cost or not? I have taken materials for 10,000, and I have got this materials in a container worth rupees 200, which is non-returnable. Okay, so I have paid 10,200 rupees, and I have got this. So how much will I include in the cost of materials? Will it be 10,000 or it will be 10,200? How much is going to be, 10,000 or 10,200? How much will it be, 10,000 or 10,200? So materials I have bought for 10,000 and container is of 200, which is non-returnable. So how much will you include, how much will you consider as the cost of the materials, 10,000 or 10,200? Perfect. Soham, Kirti, absolutely perfect. Come on. So I'm getting the right answers. Okay, I'm getting the right answers. Like I have to take, yes, definitely. Okay, perfect. Malika, Arya, Rohit, Abhijit, Avni, Pujita, Ritesh, Nagesh, and Siddhesh, Sri Raksha. Everybody, your answer is correct. The cost that will be taken is 10,200. The cost that will be taken is 10,200. Absolutely perfect. Now, suppose students, if I tell you the materials are worth rupees 10,000, I have bought the container worth 200 and this is returnable. Now what will happen? If this is returnable, if this is refundable, then what you have to do is, I will not take this in cost. Okay, I'll not take this in cost. Remember that it is refundable, right? So I'll get my money back. So my cost will not be 10,200. My cost will be only 10,000 rupees in this case. Okay. Now students, the interesting thing is, suppose I've got materials worth rupees 50,000. Okay. Material worth 50,000. I bought some containers. I got some containers, rupees 6,000. But if I return them, I'll receive only 4,000. If I return them, I'll receive only 4,000. Okay. So materials are worth 50,000. I have bought some, I have got the materials in a container which was costing rupees, containers were costing rupees 6,000. But if I return the container, I'll get only 4,000 as refund. Okay, I'll get only 4,000 as refund. Now I want you to tell me, like, how much is the cost of the materials for me? What is the landed cost of materials? What is the cost at which I'm receiving the materials? How much will you consider? Perfect, students, perfect. All of it is perfect. So if the containers are partially refundable, so we don't add this part, we will add only that part which is non-refundable. Like out of 6,000, 4,000 is getting refunded, so I'll add only 2,000 in this. Okay, and my cost will be 52,000. Absolutely perfect, students, all of you, absolutely perfect. Okay, so my cost will be 52,000 rupees. Perfect. This is the first concept, which is landed cost. Okay, so containers I have to take, and I have to take only the non-returnable portion, okay, or the non-refundable portion. Non-refundable or non-returnable portion I have to take. If there are any normal wastages, I have to incorporate. If there are any duties or taxes, okay, for which no refund is available, no credit is available, I have to add. Like for example, students, if I got materials, if I got for materials worth rupees 1 lakh and I pay a GST at 18%, let's say 18,000. If I pay GST at 18%, that is 18,000, I'm paying 1,80,000. Now, suppose I'm a GST registered dealer and I can take a credit of this. Credit is available. Then tell me what will be my cost. Shall I consider 1 lakh as my cost or shall I consider 1,18,000 as my cost? Shall I consider 1 lakh as my cost or shall I consider 1,18,000 as my cost? If there are any taxes which are for which credit is available, for which a refund is available, kind of, okay, then in that case, absolutely perfect, absolutely perfect. Yes, all of you, your answers are definitely correct. Okay, you're perfectly correct. Very good, very good. So your correct answer, the correct answer is basically 1 lakh. If I'm receiving a refund of it, if I'm receiving a credit of it, I should not take it in cost. Very good. Similarly, if there are some, yes, students, thank you so much. Very good, very good. So discounts, if there are any trade discounts, okay, so you don't have to take that, okay, you have to remove them, okay, for which refund is available, will not be taking that. Penalties and charges. Remember, now there is a concept of penalties. Now, I'll tell you some important thing in this. Always remember damages, demurrage, penalty, damages, demurrage, penalty, they are not a part of cost. They are not a part of cost of production. Remember that. Okay, they are never considered as the cost of production. Okay, never included in the cost of the materials. Okay, damages, demurrage, and penalties. Okay, so remember that, students. Now, if you get some incentives, remember you have to reduce that. Suppose, for example, I purchase goods worth 50,000 and I got a government subsidy on that. I got a government subsidy, I got a government incentive of, let's say, 12,000. Okay, I got a government subsidy of 12,000. So I'll remove this because this is not my cost now, right? From 50,000, 12,000 has been refunded to me. So for me, the cost will be 38,000 only. So if there are any subsidies, there are any grants, always reduce them. Next. So this was the first topic, that was the landed cost. Okay, what you have to take and what you should not take. Now, the second topic in this chapter, which you must focus on, is like if we go in our sequence, we have seen the landed cost. The second one is the procedure for issue of materials. Now, students, procedure for issue of materials, the first department in a factory which actually plans everything. Okay, the section, the department of a factory, of an organization which plans almost everything. Okay, that is actually the planning department or the engineering department. They generally make a document which is called as the bill of materials, in which all the information will be there. Okay, like if you are producing a car, if you are making a car, what all equipments will be required, how much you have to take that. Okay, suppose you are making a mobile phone, so how many batteries you have to take, how many processors should be there, how many speakers should be there, how many cameras should be there. Okay, what should be the like motherboard be like. Okay, so understand, this all will be given in a statement format, and that is called as the bill of materials. These days in practical life, it is also being like automated, and like you can see a proper photo of that and all that. So bill of materials prepared by the planning department or the engineering department, which gives a list of all the materials that are required to do that particular job. Next is material requisition note. Now what happens is, production department keeps on producing the goods, but for that production they consistently require some raw materials. So the production department makes some material requisition note and comes to the store department. Okay, remember that. Production department will make this material requisition note. They will come to the stores department. They will request the storekeepers, Mr. Storekeeper, please give us materials. And for the authorization, they will be having this material requisition note. So students, bill of materials is prepared by the planning department. For those who are doing the production, they require materials, so they will go to the storekeeper and they will submit a material requisition note. Okay, now the storekeeper will check the material requisition note. The storekeeper will check, oh yes, you require this materials, it has been authorized by your group leader or your supervisor, come on, take this materials. The storekeeper will check this list with the bill of materials, with the standard list. If the items are proper, he will give you the goods. Now, it is the duty of the storekeeper to always see, like the materials which should be required for production should be always there in the stock. Okay, he must always make sure that you do not go stock out, right? Stock out नहीं हो जाना चाहिए आपके पास. You must maintain an adequate level of stock, right? So the storekeeper, what he does is he maintains all these levels, reorder level and maximum level and minimum level. The storekeeper, what he does is, whenever the stock is falling, okay, whenever the stock is touching the reorder level, he will make a purchase requisition note. The storekeeper, he will request the purchase department. Now in a factory, stores department is different, purchase department is different. So the storekeeper will request the purchase department, yes Mr. Purchase Department, please go on and place a purchase order, buy some materials for us, because we otherwise will go stock out. Okay, so the storekeeper makes a purchase requisition note. Okay, so remember that storekeeper will make this note and he will give it to whom? He will give this purchase requisition note to the purchase department. Okay, the storekeeper will give this purchase requisition note to the purchase department and he will request the purchase department to please purchase some materials. Okay, to please purchase the materials which are mentioned in that note. Now, purchase department has received the purchase requisition note. He has received a request. The purchase department has received a request that we have to purchase the goods. So, on the basis of that request, what purchase department does is he calls for the invitation. He calls for tenders from various creditors, from the various suppliers of yours. Okay, and after choosing the best quotation, after choosing the best tender, he will place a purchase order. The purchase department, the purchase manager, he will place a purchase order with the supplier, and on the basis of that purchase order, the supplier will make the goods, he will supply to us, and the goods will come to our factory now. Okay, with that purchase order, the goods will come to our factory, and after coming to the factory, we'll be making a note which is called as the goods received note. Okay, so the goods are coming to us and we'll be making this goods received note, and we will be also giving this note to the supplier that yes, supplier, you have given the goods to us. Now, suppose if the goods are not proper, we will make a material return note and we'll give it back to the supplier. Take away. These goods are not as per our specifications. Okay, so I hope all of you have understood this. So after getting the goods received note, okay, after getting the GRN, after getting the goods, the supplier, what he will do is he will make an invoice for the goods. Okay, he will make an invoice and will be paying that. So this is the procedure. Okay, this is the procedure. Now let us quickly revise this. Okay, let's quickly revise. Now students, the first one, bill of materials, it was prepared by whom? Bill of materials is a specification list. It is a standard list. It is prepared by the planning department. Given to whom? This planning department, this bill of material prepared by the planning department, it is given, it is circulated to all of them. Like it is circulated to the stores also, it is given to the production department also, it is given to the cost accounting department also. So this bill of material is given to everyone. Next, material requisition note. Material requisition note. Can anybody tell me who is making this document? Come on students, who is making this document? Beta, material requisition note. Come on, tell me who is making this document, material requisition note. Come on, come on, come on. Who is making this note? Come on, I'm waiting for your answers. Yes, who is making this note, this material requisition note? Perfect, Sanmita. So this is being made by the production department. This is being made by the production department, right? Okay, right. Perfect. Avni, Pujita, Sujan, Siddesh, Avisha, Nagesh, everybody. Perfect. Okay. So production, it is being prepared by the production department and it is given to the stores department. Okay. So production department makes this and gives it to the stores department, requesting them to issue the materials. Now, what storekeeper will do? Storekeeper will make a purchase requisition note. What storekeeper will does is he will make a purchase requisition note. Remember that. Okay, so storekeeper makes a purchase requisition note and it gives it to the purchase department. What is there in the purchase requisition? The storekeeper is requesting the purchase department that please purchase department purchase this goods which we are specifying. Okay, so storekeeper makes a purchase requisition note and gives it to the purchase department. Okay, storekeeper will make this and give it to the purchase department. Now, what will purchase department do? He will make a purchase order. Purchase department will call the tenders and select the best one, and he will place a purchase order. So this is made by the purchase department. Okay, this is made by the purchase department and given to whom? To the supplier. This is given to whom? This is given to the supplier, purchase order. On the basis of this purchase order, the supplier makes the goods, comes to us with those goods, and we make a goods received note. Okay, on the basis of this goods received note, the supplier raises an invoice. I hope everybody it is clear now. Okay, like which document is being prepared by which department. And remember, for almost every note, let it be material requisition note, bill of material, or maybe a purchase order, for almost every note, including the goods received note, a copy is shared with the cost accounting department, because they are the ones who have to make the entries, who have to really account for the cost which is being incurred in like bringing the goods and materials. Okay, perfect students, perfect. Chaliye, nice. So this was the second concept of the chapter, that is the procedure for issue of materials. Now coming to the next one, students, I'll be taking some questions also, okay, for you to understand the things. Okay, now students, the first thing, now we have to see a lot of formulas. The first one we'll be studying is economic order quantity. Now students, we have seen excuse me, we have seen that the storekeeper normally places a request with the purchase department, and on the basis of that, the purchase department will call for the tenders and all that. So this procedure involves a lot of cost also. Like you have to give advertisement to call the tenders and all that. Okay, you have to negotiate with the suppliers. There is a lot of procedure involved. A lot of persons will be involved. There will be salaries will be spent. So a lot of expenses actually do happen when you are doing all these processes. So students, it is necessary to make sure that you do not order very less quantity, and you also do not order a very high quantity. You always have to make sure that whenever you are ordering for goods, whenever this purchase department is placing a purchase order with the supplier, they should not purchase a very high quantity, and they should not purchase a very low quantity. Now there are, with respect to a goods which you are ordering, there are always two costs which are getting involved. Whenever you are ordering the goods, students, there are two costs which are normally associated with that. The first cost which is normally associated with it is ordering cost. The first cost which is actually directly related with the number of orders is the ordering cost. Sir, what is this ordering cost? Beta, ordering cost means the cost which you require whenever you place an order. See, whenever you are placing an order, you will have to call the tenders. Okay, you'll have to give the advertisements in papers to call that tender. Okay, your employees will require time to study those tenders. So their salaries will be spent for this purpose, right? So this all forms part of the ordering cost. Okay, so the number of times you are making these orders, as many times you have to keep on doing all this stuff, and you'll have to keep on spending money on this. So this is all part of the ordering cost. The second is the carrying cost. By the way, I'll always suggest you remember, ordering cost is kind of advertisement for tender. The more orders you want to give, more advertisements you have to make to bring the tenders, like that. So think it that way. The higher the orders, if you want to make 100 orders, give advertisement 100 times to call for tenders, like that. So the cost will shoot up like that. Okay. The next is the carrying cost. Now carrying cost means what? Students, whenever you are calling for the inventory, when you are purchasing the inventory, आप इन्वेंट्री खरीदते हैं तो उसके साथ दो चीज होती है. वन, आपको उसे स्टोर करना है. देयर इज अ स्टोरेज कॉस्ट इन्वॉल्व, राइट? देयर इज अ स्टोरेज कॉस्ट दैट इज इन्वॉल्व. सेकंड, आपको क्या करना है, उसके साथ साथ में आप उसके लिए पैसा पे करेंगे. यू आर गोइंग टू पे मनी फॉर दैट, सो योर इंटरेस्ट लॉस इज देयर. Now, all of you must have known that interest cost normally do not form part of costing, but this is where we are not recording that cost. We are taking a decision based on that cost. So we are not considered about recording this cost in the books. We are concerned about the actual cost. We are concerned more about the decision whether we have to purchase that much quantity or not. So that for that purpose, interest is relevant over here. Now, in carrying costs, see, whenever you are whenever you are buying the inventories, you have to store them. You have to give to the warehouse persons. You have to make payment to them because of the storage cost involved. Okay, you have to make payment to the suppliers. There is an interest element involved, right? Plus, when you are ordering materials, there is always a chance, there is always a risk of them getting obsolete. So carrying cost actually covers storage, it covers interest, it covers obsolescence also. It will get old and all that. Okay, obsolete. This all costs are covered in the carrying cost. Now, if I order very high quantity, students, if I order very high quantity, I'll give you, if this is A, this is B. If I order a very high quantity, which cost will be lesser and which will be higher? Which cost will be lesser and which will be higher? A will be lesser or B will be lesser? Come on, A will be lesser or B will be lesser? If I order a very high quantity of materials, A will be lesser or B will be lesser? If I order a very high quantity, then A will be lesser or B will be lesser? Very good, Soham. So if I order a very high quantity, all of you, your answers are absolutely perfect. Your answers are absolutely perfect. See, if I order a very high quantity, what happens is I have to place just one or two orders. If I'm placing a very high quantity, okay, I just have to place one or two orders, one or two advertisements I have to give. So the ordering cost will be very less. But the storage of those materials, because a huge quantity, that's going to be very high cost for us, right? The storage will involve a very high cost. So the carrying cost will be higher, ordering will be lesser. Similarly, it can also be done like I order very small quantity, छोटा quantity order करेंगे. If you order small quantities, what will happen? अगर छोटा आप order करोगे तो number of orders will be large, right? You will have to order large number of quantities. If you have to order sorry, not quantities, if you will have to make a large number of orders, so if you are making a large number of orders, it will involve a large number of advertisements, large number of discussions, negotiations, lot of salaries getting wasted. So the ordering cost will shoot up, carrying cost will come down. So I have to maintain a balance between these two, and this is done with the help of EOQ, economic order quantity. Now this formula is root of 2AO upon C. 2AO upon C, students, it means that twice into, students, listen to this, twice into annual requirement. What is this? This is annual requirement. What is this O? Ordering cost per order. What is this O? Ordering cost per order. So if I am placing an order one time and I spend 500 rupees, so this is 500 rupees. One time order, whatever is the cost. C, carrying cost per unit per annum. Okay, carrying cost per unit per annum, PUPA, for 1 unit for 1 year. So this is C. Okay, so that is the formula for EOQ. Now what is this EOQ, sir? Sir, this EOQ is actually a quantity if you keep on ordering this much quantity all the time. If I always place, like for example, my EOQ is coming, let's say 500 units. What is my EOQ? 500 units. Then it means that whenever I order, I must order 500 units. Okay, you understood what is EOQ? EOQ means whenever you order this quantity. So if you keep on ordering this quantity, your total of ordering and carrying cost will always come minimum. The total of ordering and carrying cost will always come minimum. Sir, does it mean ordering cost will be minimum? No. Does it mean carrying cost will be minimum? No. It means that the total of the ordering and the carrying cost will be minimum. At if you continuously keep on ordering at 500 units, if you continuously keep on ordering the EOQ number of quantities, then the ordering will not be minimum, the carrying will not be minimum, but the total of ordering and carrying will be minimum. The total of ordering and carrying will be always minimum. Okay, so remember that. In fact, I'll tell you one secret over here. At the EOQ level, ordering cost and carrying cost are always equal. If you continuously keep on ordering at the EOQ quantities, the ordering cost and carrying cost always come equal. Okay, remember that. Now, students, to explain this, okay, I'll be taking up a question over here from your material itself. Okay, I'll be taking a question over here. Why I'm taking directly question from the ICI study material? Because I want everybody to have one book, and this is something, this is basically our Bible, right? So this is something which everybody do have. Okay, some of you may be having my notes, some of you may be having some other notes. So I'm taking directly this material which everybody is having. Okay, so in this, students, come to this concept, this economic order quantity. Now I'll be taking up a question. Not this one, not this one, not this one. No. I want to take some good question. Students. Okay, do one thing. First we'll do a easier one, then I'll be taking a bigger one. Okay. First we'll be doing a easier one. Everybody come to page number, this is 84 of mine. Like this is page number 2.23 of the textbook. Okay, you can see the question on the screen also. Calculate the economic order quantity from the following information. Also state the number of orders to be placed in a year. Okay, so you also have to calculate the number of orders also. So students, we have to calculate the economic order quantity, consumption of materials per annum. Now this is something very interesting. They have already given per annum. Okay, and what we want is, in our formula, it is root of 2AO upon C. A stands for annual requirement. They have already given you the annual requirement. Okay, that is 10,000 kgs. Order placing cost per order. So ordering cost is 50 rupees. So they have given you the A, they have given you the O. Cost per kg of raw materials is rupees 2 and storage cost is 8% of average inventory. I have seen some students jumbling up. Some students don't understand, sir, this 8% we have to take off which figure? This or this? Always remember, if the storage cost is given in terms of percentage, you have to take it always in on your, what do you say, cost per kg, always. So 8% of 2 rupees. So my carrying cost will be 2 rupees into 8%. So 2 into 8%, that is 16 paisa. That is going to be 16 paisa. I've already got the right answers from students over here. Okay. So students, let's do this. The formula is root 2A upon C. So root of 2 into A, that is 10,000, O, that is 50, upon C, that is 16 paisa. Come on, do this. So 2 into 10,000 into 50 divided by 16 paisa. Take a root. So I get the economic order quantity as 2,500 units. As 2,500, students, you'll always write in kgs. Like this was in kgs, right? So your EOQ will be always in kg. Okay. If it is in rupees, it will never be in rupees. Sorry. If it is in kgs, write kgs. If it is in units, write units, like that. Okay. So now there's one more question attached over there. There's one more question. State the number of orders to be placed. How many orders are required to be placed in a year? Tell me. Our annual requirement was, students, 10,000 kg. And whenever we are ordering 2,500 kg, whenever we are ordering for 2,500 kg. So how many orders are required to be placed? How many orders are required to be placed? How many orders are required to be placed? Come on, it's a very, very simple question, right? It's a very simple question. Perfect. Perfect, student. Perfect. Malika, Srujan, Chetan, Swam has already given the answer. Bharat, everyone, students. Okay, I cannot read so many names. So, everybody, your answers are correct. The formula is very simple. 10,000 kgs. Okay, the annual requirement upon the order size. What is the formula? Annual requirement upon order size. That will give you the number of orders to be placed. Okay, that will give you the number of orders to be placed. Now, students, in this question, let me explain you something else. I'll teach you something in this. I'll not take my then another question. I'll teach you in this only. Students, what is my annual requirement? I'll show you how to calculate. I'll show you how to calculate the ordering cost and carrying cost. Okay. My annual requirement was 10,000 kg. How much is my order size, which is the EOQ, which I have already calculated, that is 2500 kg. Now I have to calculate the ordering cost. I have to calculate the ordering cost. Students, whenever you have to calculate the ordering cost, always first calculate number of orders. Sir, what is the formula for number of orders? The formula is very simple. The formula is annual requirement upon order size. In my example, my order size is the economic order quantity, that is 2500 kgs. So 10,000 upon 2500, that is 4 orders. Okay, I have to place 4 orders. Okay, I have to place, students, 4 orders. Now, students, the second one, what will be my ordering cost? Ordering cost, the formula is number of orders. Like I have to make 4 orders. Okay, and whenever I order, my cost is coming 50 rupees. Whenever I am ordering, my cost is coming 50 rupees, right? So, number of orders into ordering cost per order. Ordering cost per order. So in this one, what will be the answer? I have to place 4 orders, and whenever I place an order, my cost comes 50 rupees. So 4 into 50, my ordering cost will be 200 rupees. My ordering cost will be 200 rupees. Okay, so always remember that. How you have to calculate the ordering cost? Students, remember the sequence. How will you calculate the ordering cost? Annual requirement upon order size will give us the number of orders. Number of orders into ordering cost per order will always give you the total ordering cost. Okay, this is how we got the ordering cost. Third, now I have to calculate the carrying cost. I've got the ordering cost. Now I have to calculate the carrying cost. How I calculate the carrying cost? The first step for calculating carrying cost is get the average inventory. What is the formula for average inventory? The formula for average inventory is half of order size. What is the formula? Half of order size. That is the formula for average inventory. Okay. So how much was the order size? That was 2500 kgs. So 2500 kgs half. My average inventory will come 1250 kg. Okay. I've taken the half of the order size. Remember that. I've taken the half of the order size. Whatever your order size is, take its half and you'll get the average inventory. Now, what will be the carrying cost? Carrying cost, the formula is average inventory into carrying cost per unit per annum. Into carrying cost per unit per annum. Do you remember? In our example, we have calculated it at 16 paisa. Carrying cost per unit per annum. So into 16 paisa. Come on, do this. 1250 into 16. It is also coming 200 rupees. It is also coming 200 rupees. Do you remember? I have told you this earlier also. At EOQ level, ordering cost and carrying cost always come same. Okay, they are always equal at the EOQ level. Whenever you order at the EOQ level, your ordering cost and your carrying cost are always the same. Any doubt, students, till now? And whenever you have to find the total cost, whenever you have to find the total associated cost, you have to take the total of the ordering and carrying. Okay, 200 plus 200, the total will be 400. The total will be 400. I hope it is clear for everyone now. Whenever you are making a comparison between the EOQ order size and some others order size, you always have to follow this sequence. You always have to follow this sequence. Okay, take the annual requirement. Okay, take the annual requirement, write the order size, divide, you get the number of orders. Okay, annual requirement upon order size, you get the number of orders. So number of orders into ordering cost per order, we get the ordering cost. Then how you find the carrying cost? First find the average inventory, which is half of order size. Then you get the average inventory, and average inventory into carrying cost per unit per annum will give you the carrying cost. At the EOQ level, ordering and carrying are always equal, so you get the total associated cost. Okay, whenever you have been asked questions on comparison between the EOQ and some other order size, you always have to make this chart. Always. You will make this chart for the EOQ and you will add one more column for some other quantity like that. So this is how we'll have to make this. I'll give you an example for that too. We maybe will not solve that, but I'll give you an example like how we have to do this. Students, now see this question. See this question number 2. This is from the practical questions. A company manufactures a special product which requires a component alpha. The following particulars are given. Annual demand is given. Cost of placing an order. Cost per unit of alpha. Carrying cost has been given. The company has been offered a quantity discount of 4% on the purchase of alpha, provided the order size is 4,000 components at a time. How we will solve this question is, we'll be making 3 columns. Particulars, EOQ level, and an order size of 4,000 units, which is not the EOQ. So I'll calculate an EOQ for this. Okay, I'll make a column for the EOQ quantities. What will be the total cost? And then I'll make a column for this 4,000 units. I'll calculate the total cost for that also. And then I'll try to find the difference, which cost is higher, which is lesser. And I'll try to make the decision. I hope everybody is clear, like how you have to do this. Now, students, because this is an important question, okay, so I'll be doing it very fast with you right now. I'll be doing it very fast with you right now. Come on, you also start calculating this. This is an important question, students. Otherwise, I would have ignored this. Come on, first calculate the EOQ. What will be the EOQ? Root of 2AO upon C. Come on, do this. So 2 into 8,000. 2 into 8,000. I've got a query in the chat that why average inventory is taken and not actual order size. Okay, I'll come to this query. Okay, Avni, after I do this, I finish this question, I'll come to your query. Okay, don't worry. So 2 into 8,000 into ordering cost is 200. Divided by what is the carrying cost? See, the cost is 400 and the carrying cost is 20%. So 400 into 20% will be 80. Okay, so divide by 80 and then take a root. So my EOQ is coming 200 units. My EOQ is coming 200 units. Everybody do calculate. My EOQ is coming 200 units. So 2 into 8,000 into ordering cost, which was 200, divided by 80 rupees and take a root. So 200 it is coming, perfect. So the first one is 200 units, that is EOQ, and the second one is they are ordering at, the company has been offered a quantity discount of 4% on a purchase of alpha, provided the order size is 4,000 components at a time. So whenever we order 4,000 components, we'll get a quantity discount of 4%. So students, the second order size will be 4,000 units. The second order size will be 4,000 units. Apni, your query I'll be handling when I'll be taking that, okay, after this. Okay, don't worry. Now students, the first thing, what will be the basic cost? What will be the basic cost? See, I have to order, what is my annual demand? 8,000. What is the rate? 400. If I order at the EOQ level, I'm not going to get a discount. So 8,000 into 400, come on, do this. 8,000 into 400, it is coming 32 lakhs. Okay, because I'm not getting any discount. But if I order a big quantity, if I order a quantity of 4,000 components, what will happen? I'll get a discount of 4%. So how I will do is 8,000 quantity into 400 rupees into, like, I'm having a 4% discount. So I'll be paying only 96%. So 8,000 into 400 into 96%. So I'll be paying 30 lakh 72,000. I'll be paying only 30 lakhs 72,000, right? I'm getting a discount of 4%. In fact, what you can do is from this subtract 4%, you will get this. I've got a discount of 4%. Now, number of orders. How much is the number of orders? We know the formula, annual requirement upon the order size. Annual requirement upon order size. Students, annual requirement 8,000, order size. When I'm ordering at EOQ, that is 200. So the orders will be 40. And if I order at 4,000 units, so 8,000 quantity divided by 4,000 if I do, so my orders will be 2. What will be ordering cost? What will be ordering cost? For one order, we have to make 200 rupees as the expenditure, right? So into 200, so 440 into 200, that is 8,000. That is 8,000. And this 2 into 400, 800, 2 into 200, right? So 400 will be the expenditure for this. 400 will be the expenditure for this. I hope everybody is clear with this. Next, students, if you have any queries, keep on asking. There is one query which is pending now. I'll be covering that after completion of this problem. Fourth is average inventory. I've already told you the formula for average inventory, which is half of the order size. Here I'm ordering for 200 units. So 100 units is the average inventory. Here I'm ordering 4,000 units. So my average inventory is 2,000 units. Okay, 100 units, 2,000 units. Now these are units, okay, not rupees. Now fifth, what is my carrying cost? I know my carrying cost is, students, my carrying cost will be how much? Like when I order at the EOQ levels, my cost is 400 rupees. So 400 into 20%. So 80 rupees per unit, right? 80 rupees per unit. So 100 into 80, 8,000. And you can see ordering and carrying are coming same. Okay, at EOQ level, ordering and carrying always come same. Okay, that's a rule. Next, in fact, if you make a graph, the ordering and carrying cut at a point which is EOQ. That is why they always come same. Now, if I talk about the carrying cost for 4,000 units, when I do it for a 4,000 units, what happens is my cost per unit will reduce by 4%. Why? Because I'm getting a quantity discount. So 400 minus 4%, so it is coming 384 is my new cost into 20%. So my new cost, carrying cost will be 76.8. My new carrying cost will be 76.8, right? 400 minus 4% I did because I got a quantity discount of 4%. So my new cost is 384 into 20%. I got it at 76.8. That is my carrying cost per unit per annum now. Now students, 76.8 into 2,000 units. So my carrying cost is coming 1,53,600. I'm repeating this again. See this, 400 minus 4% because I got a quantity discount. So my new cost is 384. carrying cost is 20%. So 384 into 20%, my carrying cost per unit will be now 76.8. And I am carrying 2000 units. So 2000 into 76.8, I got 153,600. Now students, calculate the total cost, not only associated cost, all the total cost. Step 1 plus step 3 plus step 5. Okay, so all this 3. Come on, add this. So what it happens is 32,16,000, and in this one 30,72,000 plus 400 plus 153,600, it is coming 32,26,000. Obviously here I am going to spend more. I should not go for this. I should not accept the offer of the quantity discount, and I should only order at the EOQ level. Okay, that is 32,16,000. That will be my total cost. Everybody understood this concept? Understood this entire problem? Everybody understood this entire problem? If you have any queries, kindly ask. One query is there which I am going to address now. So this is a very, very important question. You understand this, why I'm solving questions on this topic. It's an extremely important concept. Extremely important concept. Materials have been asked in compulsory questions in almost every paper, except for May 23. In almost every paper it has been asked. I have very carefully analyzed your paper patterns, okay, and we are doing it from exam perspective. Now, I have got a query. The query was, sir, why average inventory is considered to be half of the order size? I'll give you one example for this. Suppose, students, I normally order 30,000 units for 1 month. Okay, I normally order 30,000 units for 1 month, and every day our factory consumes 1,000 units. 1,000 units are consumed. So what will happen is 30,000 units I am ordering every time, okay, and I'll like daily I am consuming 1,000 units. So what is the order size? Order size is 30,000 units. Okay, I order 30,000 units, use it for 1 month, and then again order 30,000 units. Okay, every day I consume 1,000 units. Now understand, Avni, your query was, sir, why average inventory is half of the order size? Students, what will happen on day 1? On day 1, I will be having 30,000 units, right? On day 1, I'll be having 30,000 units. On day 2, 1,000 units will get consumed, so I'll be left with 29,000 units. On day 3, I'll be left with 28,000 units because again 1,000 units will get consumed. Okay, and so on. Day 4, 27,000. It will continuously go on like this. Somewhere near day 15, I'll be left with 16,000 or maybe 15,000 units. Somewhere near the average, day 15 and day 16 will be 16,000 and 15,000 units, like that. Okay, this will continuously keep on falling, and somewhere near day 28, I'll be left with on day 28, I'll be left with 2,000 units. Day 29, I'll be left with 1,000 units, and day 30, I'll be left with 0 units because all the units have got consumed now. Now understand this. In the entire month, now I have to calculate the average inventory. There was some period where I was having 30,000 units, 29,000 units, 28,000 units, 27,000 units. It was continuously falling. Okay, it was continuously falling. At some point of time, I reached nearly the half. And after that, I was continuously below that half, right? I was continuously below 15,000. So now try to understand what is average inventory. Average inventory is something which you are maintaining all across the year. Okay. So on day 1, I am having 30,000. On day 30, I am having 0 unit. It's like on one day I am having 30,000 and one day I am having 0. Don't you think average is coming only 15,000 for the 2 days? On one day, I'm having 29,000 units. On one day, I'm having 1,000 units. So effectively, if I see for these 2 days, the average is coming 15,000 for both the days. On one day, I'm having 28,000 units. On one day, I'm having 2,000 units. So don't you think on an average, I'm having 15,000 units. The total is 30 divided by 2, like that. Okay, so average inventory is always the half of the order size. Whatever your order size is, it will continuously keep on falling because we do not maintain the stocks. It will continuously keep on falling, and on the last day it will become zero. So for some period it will be above the average, for some period it will be below the average. So on an average we will be always maintaining the half of whatever we order. Avni, is it clear now? Why average inventory exactly the half of order size? Like 30,000 it was on the first day, on the last day it is zero. So on an average, I'm having 15,000 for both the days. Like that. Okay, so 29,000 for one day and 1,000 for another day. So 29 plus 130 divided by 2. On an average, I'm having 15,000. Like that. Okay, so this is how it works. This is how we actually take this. Okay. Okay, students, any other queries, feel free to ask. Okay, always feel free to ask. Now, students, we have covered the concepts of EOQ. Now, I'll be coming to the another important concept, and that, if you remember well, that was the various levels. Now, what are the various levels? Just give me a second. Yes, what are the various levels, students? You all know that is EOQ is there. EOQ is one quantity. Then you have the reorder levels. You have the maximum level. You have minimum level, right? Okay, just give me a second. So students, now coming to the various levels what we have, see over here, I have kept all the formulas also, minimum level, maximum level, right? See, this is the minimum level, this maximum level, then you have the average level, reorder level, right? Now students, I'll tell you the way how I remember the formulas. Students, I normally remember all the formulas with the help of this logic. In reorder level, maximum. In maximum level, minimum. In minimum level, average. And in average, it is maximum and minimum both. Understand? In ROL formula, we have maximum. In maximum formula, we have minimum. In minimum formula, we have average. You can see all of them are scattered. All of them are different. In ROL, maximum, maximum, minimum, minimum, average. In average, obviously, both of them, maximum and minimum. Sir, we did not understand. Obviously. See the formula for ROL. The formula for ROL is maximum consumption into maximum lead time. Maximum consumption into maximum lead time. Reorder level is a level at which we must start ordering. Okay, at which we must start the purchase procedure. That is the reorder level. The formula is maximum consumption of raw materials into maximum lead time. So ROL maximum, maximum, minimum. Now see this. ROL maximum level, the formula is reorder level plus reorder quantity minus minimum consumption into minimum lead time. Okay, ROL plus ROQ minus minimum consumption into minimum lead time. As I have told you, in maximum there is minimum. Okay, now remember, in ROL that was maximum, in maximum there is minimum. Now, in fact, in maximum, that is the maximum is the only formula which is also having this reorder quantity. Okay, now the third one. So in ROL, maximum, maximum, minimum. Now coming to minimum, in minimum we have average. ROL minus average consumption into average lead time. Beta, for average consumption or average lead time, we can use the words normal also. Normal consumption into normal lead time. We can use the word. Average and normal is the same. Okay, I hope everybody now is now clear with this. Average level, the formula is maximum level plus minimum level upon 2. That's the formula. So average is the easiest. And the last is danger level. In danger level, we normally use average consumption into lead time for emergency purchases. For emergency purchases. In some cases, we can use minimum consumption also. Instead of average consumption, we can use minimum consumption also. So these are the various formulas for the levels. Okay, so how you will remember is in ROL maximum, maximum, minimum, minimum, average. Okay, see this. ROL maximum consumption into maximum lead time, maximum. ROL plus ROQ minus minimum consumption into minimum lead time, minimum. ROL minus average consumption into average lead time. And in average, we have the maximum plus minimum upon 2. In danger level, we have average consumption into lead time for emergency purchases. Okay. So those are the formulas we normally use for the various levels. What is danger level? Danger level is something at which you should restrict the use of the raw materials to only the most important purposes. Okay. I have got a query. Is consumption and usage same? Yes, beta, consumption and usage is the same. Consumption and usage is the same. Consumption means only that how much it is getting used. Okay, so consumption and usage is one and the same. Now students, I'll take a question where normally mistake happens. Students don't understand like how to solve this. Please understand these levels are for raw materials. They are not for the finished goods. This is maintained by the storekeeper. So this is for the raw materials, not for the finished goods. Okay. Just give me a second, please. Students, Students, come to question number 4. See this on the screen. Now, a company uses 3 raw materials A, B, and C for a particular product for which the following data apply. A, usage per unit is given, reorder quantity, price per kg, minimum, average, maximum, ROL is given, and minimum level is asked. Weekly production varies from 175 to 225 units, averaging 200 units of the said product. Students, why I have taken this question only? I have taken this question because here maximum student goes wrong. Weekly production data is given and this production is of the finished goods, not the raw materials. And for this finished goods, we require this quantities for per unit. This is the most important thing where student goes wrong. I'll tell you how. What is the formula for minimum level? I want the minimum level, right? What is the formula for minimum level? The formula for minimum level is reorder level minus average consumption into average lead time. That's the formula. What is the reorder level? 8,000. What is the average consumption? Sir, on an average, we are producing 200 units. Okay. So 200 units into students average consumption, it is average production into every unit you have to use 10 kgs. I want the reorder level for the raw material, not the finished goods. 200 unit is of the finished goods. I want for the raw material. So I want, like, if the average production is 200, so average raw material requirement will be 200 into 10, that is 2000, into average lead time, which is 2 weeks. So now you solve this. So 8,000 minus 4,000, answer will be 4,000. 4,000 is the minimum level. Have you all understood this? This is where student normally goes wrong. What they do is, normally student, what will he do is, he will take average production 200 into 2. What they will do is 8,000 minus 400 and they will give the answer, sir, 7,600. No, 7,600 is not correct. The correct answer will be 4,000 because this is the output data. I want the data for the raw materials. So 200 into 10, this is the input data. This is 2,000 materials. So 2000 is the average inventory into 2 average lead time. I'll get the answer 4000. If everybody you are clear with what I'm trying to tell you, kindly calculate the maximum stock of B. If you are clear with what I have told, kindly calculate the maximum stock of B. I'll tell you the formula also. The formula for maximum level is ROL plus ROQ minus minimum consumption into minimum lead time. That is the formula. ROL plus ROQ minus minimum consumption into minimum lead time. Sir, is reorder period and lead time the same? Yes, reorder period is the second name for lead time. Sir, what is this lead time? Lead time is basically the duration between when we request a purchase, when the storekeeper raises the purchase acquisition and the time by which he receives the goods, the difference. Suppose he is making the request to purchase the goods on 1st of Jan and he is receiving the goods on 15th of Jan. So the 15 days is basically the lead time. Everybody calculate the maximum stock of B. ROL, that is 4750, ROQ 5000 minus minimum consumption into minimum lead time. Okay, very good, Arya. Arya, Soham, your answers are correct. Very good. Rohit, it is correct. Yes, Sanmitha, Siddhesh, it is correct. Very good, students. Very good. So you have understood the logic, right? This, what you are calculating is for the raw materials. It is not for the finished goods. Perfect, perfect. Abhijit, Srilaksha, everybody, it is clear. It is perfect. So the answer will be like this. ROL, that is 4750 plus ROQ, which is 5000 minus minimum consumption. What is minimum consumption? Minimum quantity 175 into minimum that is usage, that is 4. Usage, that is 4. So 175 into 4. This is the minimum consumption. Into minimum lead time is 3. If I do this, 9750 minus 175 into 4 into 3, that is 2100. I have to subtract. Answer comes 7650. Everybody, it is clear. Perfect. It is good. Okay, you have done the right calculations. Perfect. Any queries, please ask. If you have any queries, please ask. I'm intentionally going slow in this chapter because I know this is the score area. This is where students will score marks. Not everybody, every student will be able to secure marks in standard costing. Not everybody will be able to secure marks in maybe marginal costing or budget. But everybody has to secure marks in this chapter. That is why we are going slow. Now, students, we have completed this. Okay, we have seen the various levels. Okay, we have seen various levels. Now, let's do the ABC analysis and all that. Now, students, what is this ABC analysis and the other analysis like this? See this? ABC analysis is basically, the ABC analysis is basically where you analyze the inventory on the basis of value and frequency of inventory. Basically, ABC analysis is like 70-20-10 analysis. You will segregate your inventories in the ratio of the investments made into them. So what do you mean by 70-20-10 over here? 70-20-10. In terms of value, those items which represent 70% of the investment, they will be the A category. Those items which represents 20% of the value of the inventory will represent the B category, and those elements which represents only 10% of the value, they will represent the C category. But in terms of the quantity is exactly the reverse. This 70% which are there in value, they are always in the quantity of nearly 10%. The B categories of having quantities nearly 20%, and C is having quantities nearly 70%. Okay, C is having quantities nearly 70%. Sir, is this ratio always fixed? No, it can vary in every industry. Okay, it can vary in every company, every organization. But this is to give you a general idea that there are some items which are very less in quantity but very high in value. There are some items which are very high in quantity but very low in value. Okay, so you have to analyze them accordingly. A, B, and C. A is where you must place very high controls, very strict controls. C, which you can ignore. C which does not matter much, like that. So this is the first thing, that is ABC. Second is fast moving, slow moving, non moving. Fast moving, which are very fastly moving, okay, which are basically like if this is my counter, okay, I'll always keep it near to my counter. Whenever you visit a stationery shop, students, you always find the pens in front of you only. Why? Because in a stationery shop, the maximum demands come for pen. They will come for pencil. Okay, maybe erasers and sharpeners. So you'll find it then and there itself. But if you ask for a book of a particular author, then he will have to go inside, search it somewhere, and bring it for you, like that. So the fast moving is always kept near to the issue counter, okay, and the slow moving and the non-moving items are kept somewhere inside. Slow moving is where you get a demand very after a very long time, and non-moving, which are non-moving at all, and we are trying to dispose them off as fast as possible. The third one is vital, essential, desirable. Now, what are these vital, essential, desirable? Vital, see, you have to divide your raw materials into three categories. Vital is something, if it is not there, your production will stop. Okay, you can't do anything about it. Vital element, vital raw material is something which, if it is not there, your production will stop. Essential is something, if it is not there, production will not stop, but the quality will get hampered. If essential, like essential raw materials will be those which, if not there, production will not stop, will replace them with some other material, but yes, the quality will get substandard. And desirable are something which do not affect the production at all, and they are kind of optional category. Okay, raha to bhi acha, nahi raha to bhi acha. Okay, next, high, medium, and low. Now this is you have understood by the price only. High cost, medium cost, low cost inventory, HML. High cost inventory having a high cost, medium cost involved, low cost involved, like that. So classifying on the basis of cost. Next, after this, let's see the cost measurement techniques. Now, what are the cost measurement techniques? First is FIFO. See, whenever we value the material issues, whenever we try to calculate the cost of the materials, we have to use various methods for that. One method is specific price method. Specific price method is where you directly have the value of that inventory, where you know the value of inventory. The second one is FIFO. FIFO is first in, first out. Okay, first in, first out. जो पहले आएगा वही पहले जाएगा. So here, whatever will be the left stock will be always representing the low, like the latest of the stock, right? FIFO, first in, first out. जो पहले आया वो पहले गया, right? So obviously बात है, जो आपके पास स्टॉक में रह गया, whatever is left is the most recent purchases. That is first in, first out. That is accepted under accounting standard 2 also. Okay, it is accepted in Ind AS also. LIFO, last in, first out. Last in, first out is basically जो आखिरी आया वो पहले गया. Basically here the most recent purchases will be always issued, and whatever we will be having in stock was the most earlier purchase consignment. Okay, that is LIFO. So closing stock will be the oldest stock price. Now this is not acceptable under the accounting standards. I'll tell you one thing more. Whenever there is inflation, remember that whenever the prices are going up, LIFO is better, FIFO is not. Whenever the prices are falling, FIFO is better, LIFO not. Okay, I'll repeat this rule again. Whenever the prices are going up, LIFO is better, FIFO is not. And whenever the prices are falling, then FIFO is better and LIFO is not. Okay, sir, how you decide whether which is better and which is not? The method which shows lesser profit is always better. Why, sir? Conservatism, right? Because as a prudent businessman, we should try to show lesser profits, not higher profits in advance, like that. Simple average method. Simple average is just taking the average of the prices and dividing by the total number of purchases. Weighted average method. Now this is something which is very, very interesting. Weighted average method, what you do is you do price into quantity. You find the total cost. Okay, you find the total cost of materials. How you get the total cost? Price into quantity. Divide by the total quantity, so you get the weighted average price of the materials. Okay, you get the weighted average price of the materials. So these are some important techniques. There are some other techniques also, but they are not relevant. Like the standard cost is there, and replacement value, realizable value. They will never be asked. They are never asked in exams. Okay, so you don't need to bother about this. But with respect to students, FIFO and weighted average, I'll show you something because I want you to be prepared for this. It can be asked in exams, students. Like for example, see this. If we are purchasing the goods on 5th of April, 8th of April, 12th of April, okay, there was some stock on 1st of April, okay, we are making a issue on the 6th of April. So what will happen is we'll always have to maintain a ledger like this, or we have having 100 units of 5, then we have purchased 300 units of 6. Now when we'll be issuing first 250 units, so 100 units will be of 5 which will be issued and 150 units of 6 will be issued. Okay, so like that we'll have to maintain some stores ledgers. Okay, I'll do one thing for you. For this small question, okay, for the question number 14, I'll just give you a brief of how you make a stores ledger in this. How you make a stores ledger. Quantity, rate, value. Quantity, rate, value. Quantity, rate, and value. Particulars, quantity, rate, value. This is for receipts. Actually, there should be one date column also, right? Then issues, quantity, rate, value. Then you have the balance, quantity, rate, value. Students, now suppose on 1st of April, suppose students on 1st of April, I got some opening balance which was 100 units at 5, opening balance 100 units of 5 rupees, basically 500 value. Then on 5th April, I got 300 units of 6. Again a receipt, 300 units of 6, so that is 1800. So how much is left in the stock? I'm having 100 units of 5 and 300 units of 6. I'm having this 500 and 1800. Now can you tell me if on 6th of April I am issuing 250 units, and on 8th of April, I am making a purchase of 500 units. I should make the entry obviously for 6th of April first. Chronologically, after 5th April, I'll make the entry for 6th April. Then I'll get for the 8th April. So can you tell me this 250 units, which one shall I use? If I have to make issue and I'm using a FIFO system, what will it be? If I'm using a FIFO system, how will it be? You can just write with space bar also, that is okay. I will understand. Don't worry. You can always use shortcuts while writing. It is always acceptable with me. In exams, you have to save time. You remember that, okay? Shortcuts are allowed. It is okay. Even the ICI knows, even examiner knows. Don't worry about it. Come on. If I have to issue 250 units, which one they will be? If I'm using a FIFO system, what will happen is, if I'm using a FIFO system, yes, perfect, Siddesh, perfect. So I'll be using 100 units of pi. Okay, the first one will go out. Perfect, Arya, Rohit, Prasanna, perfect. 100 units of pi, and I want to issue 250 units. So remaining 150 units will be of 6. So what will be left? I'll be left with only 150 units of this 6, right? I'll be left with only 150 units of this 6. That will be the closing balance. This is how it works. Okay, this is how it works for a FIFO system, right? This is how it works for FIFO system. Now, students, same thing. If I try to do with a LIFO system, what will happen? The same thing, if I try to do it with the LIFO system, what happens is, if I have to issue 250 units, LIFO, last in first out, the whatever I have purchased on the last, okay, out of this 300, I'll be issuing the 250 units of 6. So what will be left with me is, the opening stock of 100 will be as it is, and out of this 300, 250 are gone. So I will be like only 50 units are like left of the 6 rupee price, right? This is how it happens in case of a LIFO system, right? The last in and the first out. Last one will go and the opening will be staying as it is. This is what happens. I hope everybody it is clear. Now students, if the same question, I have to solve it with the help of the weighted average system, how it happens? Now let me tell you what happens if you have to solve the entire question with the help of a weighted average technique. Now, students, suppose if I have to solve it with the help of weighted average cost technique, suppose opening I am having 100 units of pi, right? I am having 100 units of pi and I have received 300 units of 6. Now pay attention to the sequence which I am performing. 100 units of pi. Now I have got 300 units of 6. Whenever you are solving for weighted average, see this. Add the quantities. Opening 100, new 300, 100 plus 300, quantity 400. Opening value 500, new receipt 1800. 500 plus 1800, I got 2300. Okay, so 2300. Now 2300 divided by 400. 2300 divided by 400. Come on, 2300 divided by 400. So it is coming 5.75. It is coming 5.75. This is how you value in terms of weighted average. Now, on the 6th April, when you will be issuing the 250 units, they will be of the rate 5.75. And what will be left will be 150 units will be left. Out of 400, 250 have gone. So 150 will be left, and the 150 will be also again of 5.75 only. Okay, I hope everybody has understood how you have to do in terms of weighted average technique. Okay, whenever we solve with weighted average, you have to solve like this only. Okay, so students, always remember the sequence. I am repeating for weighted average technique. Opening quantity plus new quantity, you will get the new quantity. Okay, balance quantity. Opening balance, new value, you will get the new closing balance. Now then the balance divided by this quantity will give you the balancing rate, which is 5.75. After that, all issues will happen at that rate. This is how the system works. Okay, everybody clear? All of you are clear with the weighted average thing? You are clear with the weighted average thing? Now, students, suppose, for example, very good. Suppose on 8th of April, I have purchased 500 units at 7, basically 3500. And the opening was 150 units, value 862.5, rate 5.75. Now, that is my question to you. What will be the new rate? Come on. What will be the new rate? Calculate that. What will be the new rate? What will be the new rate? Come on, students, calculate that. Very good, Soham. Very, very good. Come on, everybody, calculate, calculate. Perfect. Arya, Shikha, Siddhesh, Sanmitha, Chetan. Chetan, please check your answer again, beta. Nagesh, Shri Raksha. Everybody else, your answers are correct. Vaishnavi, Shiva Karthik, Avisha. It is good. So the answer is coming 6.71. Those who are not understood, please remember how we calculate the rate is 150 units plus 500 units. The new quantity is 650 units. 862.5 plus 3500, so 3500 plus 862.5, it will be 4362.5. Now divide this value by this quantity, we get the rate as 6.71. We get the rate as 6.71. This is how it works. Okay, this is how it works. Okay, students? Perfect, perfect. Really nice. So this is how it works. Now we have completed this topic also. We have calculated the various, we have seen the various techniques also. Now we'll see the inventory turnover ratios, which is a small concept. Now students, inventory turnover ratio tells you how fast the inventory is moving. Okay, how better are you in managing your inventories? Inventory turnover ratio, students, inventory turnover ratio actually tells you how fast like your stocks are going in and coming out. Like they actually shows you like how fast is your inventory moving. Okay, if the inventory turnover ratio is very low, it means that you are not good in managing the stocks. Now students, how do we calculate the inventory turnover ratio and all that? See this. Let's read the question. The following data are available in respect of material X for year ended 31st March. Opening stock is given, purchases is given, and closing stock is given. Okay, I have to calculate the inventory turnover ratio and the number of days for which inventory is held. What is the formula for inventory turnover ratio? The formula for inventory turnover ratio is inventory turnover ratio is equal to cost of materials consumed upon average stock. Cost of materials consumed upon average stock, okay, or average inventory of raw materials. Now I must have in the numerator the materials consumed. Now students, in this question I have been given the opening stock, I have been given the closing stock, I have been given the purchases. I have to calculate what is my cost of material consumed. I know cost of raw material consumed, there is a formula for that, and the formula is opening plus purchases minus closing. The formula is opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock. This gives you raw material consumed. We have done this in cost sheet also, right? In cost sheet also we do this. Opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock. So 90,000 plus 2,70,000 minus 1,10,000. So my raw material consumed is coming 2,50,000. Okay, my raw material consumed is coming 2,50,000. That will come in the numerator. Okay, and in the denominator I'll have the average stock. Sir, what is average stock? Average stock is opening stock plus closing stock upon 2. Okay, opening stock plus closing stock upon 2. So 90,000 plus 1,10,000. Opening stock plus closing stock upon 2. Answer is coming 1 lakh. Answer is coming 1 lakh. So what is my inventory turnover ratio? It is coming 2.5 times. It is coming 2.5 times. It means that whatever the stock I am having with me on an average, 2.5 times it is getting rotated. 2.5 times I am able to sell that stock. Okay. So 2.5 times I can tell you, like in the entire year, I have changed this inventory 2.5 number of times. Okay. I have sold this inventory, got the new inventory 2.5 number of times. That shows the inventory turnover ratio. Now the next topic is number of days for which inventory is held. Number of days for which inventory is held. Number of days for which inventory is held. Now what is the formula? Formula is 365 days, which is the annual days, upon inventory turnover ratio. Inventory turnover ratio. So 365 upon 2.5, 365 upon 2.5, do this. So it is coming 146 days. It means that on an average, I am holding my stocks for 146 days. So this is the conclusion what I can draw with the help of this inventory turnover ratios. Okay. This is the conclusion I can draw with the help of this inventory turnover ratios. 365 upon the inventory turnover ratio. This gives me number of days for which I normally hold my inventory. That is 146 days. I hope everybody is clear with this. Now students, just to test your knowledge, okay, I'm giving you this one. Now do one thing, for only and only material A. You will not do for material B, okay. For material A, calculate the inventory turnover ratio. Come on students, go for it. Only for A, calculate the inventory turnover ratio. Come on, calculate the inventory turnover ratio. First calculate the raw material consumed, then calculate the average inventory, then you divide and tell me what is the inventory turnover ratio. What is the inventory turnover ratio? Come on, calculate guys, calculate. Very good, Swam. Very good, Sanmitha. Come on, you guys are acting fast. Good. Very good. Atharva, Abhijit, Soham. Perfect. Srujan, Nagesh, Moksha, Avisha. Perfect. Rohit, Arya, perfect. So, Pujita, Shri Raksha, very, very good. So, students, all of you, your answers are correct. Okay. All of you, your answers are absolutely perfect. Yes, Bharat, it is correct. It is coming 7 times. First, have we calculated raw material consumed? how to calculate opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock. So our raw material consumed was coming 56,000. Okay, that will be the numerator. Opening stock plus purchase minus closing stock. Then in the denominator, I have average stock. Sir, what is the average stock? Opening stock plus closing stock upon 2. 10,000 plus 6,000 upon 2. So that is 8,000. Okay, so 56,000 upon 8,000. Answer is 7. 7 times. So this many times the inventory has got rotated. Okay, perfect, perfect. Avni, Malika, Shikha, Vaishnavi, Shiv Karthik, Satyajit, everybody, it is correct. Now you calculate for how many days were we holding this inventory. For how many days were we holding this inventory? The formula is 365 days upon inventory turnover ratio, that is 7. So 365 divided by 7, I get the answer 52.14. Okay, I get the answer 52.14. It means that we on an average we have held the stock for 52 days. Okay, on an average we normally hold the stock for 52 days approximately. Okay, perfect students, perfect. Okay, so this was one of the very important concepts of this chapter. Okay, now students, we have almost done this chapter except for two small things. One is a just in time thing. Just in time inventory management. What exactly is just in time? Basically, you will manage, you will order and receive the stock just when you require it. Okay, that is a just in time system of inventory management where we normally do never keep stock. Okay, whenever we have to do production, we'll receive the stock that time. Our systems are connected with the systems of the suppliers. So whenever we have, like, we have to make a production tomorrow, so what I'll do is in the evening I'll put a purchase order and I'll immediately get the deliveries, and tomorrow morning I can start with the production. So normally I do not hold the inventory, and this kind of system is a just in time inventory management. The benefit of this system is basically you don't have to maintain stocks. Okay, you don't have to maintain stock, so you save a lot of money on the storage space. Okay, you save a lot of money on the interest, you save a lot of money on what do you say, storage is there, interest is there, obsolescence will not happen like that, pilferages will be avoided. Okay, so whenever you have the demand for the final product, you start production, and whenever you production, you will send the material list and immediately you will receive it from the supplier. This is just in time inventory management. And the last topic of this, which we have to focus, is this: how you handle this wastages, scrap, spoilage, defectives, obsolescence. See, waste is something which is normally, many times we do not get any value for waste, like petrol getting evaporated. Okay, when farmers are doing farming, some food grains will be always dropped on the ground only, so that is a waste for which generally we do not have any value. Sometimes we may have a negligible value also. So cost of normal waste is absorbed by the good production units. They will be charged to the good production units. Abnormals are always transferred to costing P&L. This is general rule for all the categories. Abnormals are always transferred to costing P&L. Normal waste, whatever is the cost of it, that will be absorbed by the good production units. Sir, what do you mean by absorbing on good production units? I'll tell you. Suppose I order 10 tomatoes. Each tomato is costing rupees, let's say 15. So I paid rupees 150. Okay, I paid rupees 150. Every tomato 15 rupees is the cost. So suppose, for example, this is tomato 1, 2, 3. I'll do one thing, no? The tomato, right? So better it be in red color. So 4 tomatoes. 5. I've got the 6th one. How many of them? 5, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so I've got this 10 tomatoes, right? Now, each and every tomato in this is having a cost of, understand this, each and every tomato, ज़्यादा हो गए टोमेटो नहीं, 3 3 6 और 1. So students, every tomato is costing rupees 15. Now, I was aware of this. Whenever I order tomatoes and I order 10 tomatoes, out of this, one tomato is always coming defective. One tomato is basically which you cannot eat. So I know that, okay, that whenever I order 10 tomatoes, effectively I'll be receiving only 9 proper one, good one. So this one which is defective, this one which is faulty, I'll not consider it as a unit only. What I'll think is I am paying 150 rupees, students, I am paying 150 rupees for only and only 9 tomatoes. This is what I'll consider. This one unit which was going to be wasted, this is a normal loss for me. Normal loss means expected loss. This was already expected. I knew this well in advance. So I am paying 150 rupees for 9 tomatoes. 150 divided by 9. So I'll always assume that my cost of tomato is 16.67. I'll not consider that the cost is 15. I'll consider the cost as 16.67. And why I'm doing like that? To absorb the cost of the defective item. To absorb the cost of the defective item. I am increasing 1.67 in each and every 9 tomato to absorb the cost of the defective item. This is what we have just read. If there is a normal wastage, charge it to the good units. Because of this, increase the price of the good units. If it was 15, make it 16.67. Okay, this is what we do with the normal wastages. We inflate the rates of the other one to cover the normal loss. Everybody clear with this concept? Whenever there is a normal loss, we normally inflate the rate of the good ones to cover the normal losses. To cover the normal losses. This is what was written over here, is absorbed by the good production units. Abnormals are going to costing P&L. Similarly, scrap, the cost of scrap, if borne by the good units, is borne by good units, again inflate the rate of the other ones. Okay, any amount if you receive from selling of that scrap, you have to reduce it from the total cost. Abnormals should be obviously transferred to costing P&L. Spoilages, if the spoilages are inherent, if the spoilages are something which are part of the production, then normal spoilage which is inherent in the production is included in the cost, either charging the loss due to spoilage to the order or transferring it to the overhead. So we'll directly charge it to the job, we'll charge it to that particular order, or we'll transfer it to the overheads. So spoilage which can be transferred to overheads also. Abnormals are always taken to the costing P&L account. General rule, abnormals costing P&L. Normal losses can be absorbed by the good units or even can be transferred to overheads. Next, defectives. Similarly, whatever the defectives are there, normal if they are there, then whatever is the amount received from sell of scrap, remove that. Okay, and the net amount is again transferred to the good units. Abnormal will be transferred to costing P&L. And last but not the least, obsolescence. Obsolescence is where the quantities are getting obsolete. Okay, so you will transfer them to always costing P&L because obsolescence are always treated as abnormal only. Obsolescence are never treated as a normal loss. So this is what is there in the entire chapter. Okay, some theory units are there like 2 bin system, budgets establish karo. Okay, 2 bins basically maintaining two containers at one point of time. Okay, 2 containers. What will happen? I'll keep a reorder level that much amount of quantity in one container and the other quantity in the other container. So when the other container completes, other container gets exhausted, and I take out the second container, that is the reorder level. We have to make another order. Perpetual inventory records, basically maintaining the stores ledger and handling the data and maintaining the data of stocks at each and every receipt and purchases. Okay, so that is perpetual inventory systems. Now, students, this is what was there from the chapter materials cost. I hope everybody clear with the chapter materials cost. Students, tell me if there are any doubts. Come on. I have completed my unit materials cost. I have taken some important questions, concepts also. Tell me if there are any doubts. If it is clear, just write clear, sir. Just write clear. That's it. If it is entirely clear, you are comfortable with all the topics, just write clear. That's it. Perfect. This was a very important concept, okay? And materials is a big chapter. Remember that. Materials is a big chapter. Perfect. Okay, I have got a request to explain illustration 8. Let me check illustration 8. What is it? Okay, illustration 8 is actually a very big illustration. Okay, I'll tell you something. Those who was having the query, Priyanka. Uh, Priyanka, your question is to explain illustration number 8. I'll tell you something. First of all, this is a very big question. Can't be taken right now. Right now, okay. We may take it afterwards. Okay, this is the first thing. Second thing I want to tell you, in the new study material, which is issued for May 24 exams, this question has been removed. Okay, so for the new study material which is applicable for the May 24 exam, this question is removed. It means that ICI is not planning to put it in your paper. It means that ICI is not considering this question as a relevant question. That is why they have removed from the new book. Okay, so you can also slightly let go this question. I know this is a challenging question. This is a big question. I know that, but remember, ICI has removed this from the May 24 study materials. So because they have removed from May 24 materials, okay, so what happens is it becomes less important for us because ICI is not paying attention to this question now. So you can remember that way. Similarly, there are some questions which are actually a very easy question also, which have been added to the new material. I'll suggest that you should solve those questions because they are relevant from your exam also. No doubt ICI has not told you in advance that those questions are relevant for you. But always remember this, I have seen this. If some new questions are added in the new book also, they are relevant for us. Okay, so you can slightly let go. And this is a very big question. It's not possible to discuss right now. We may discuss it afterwards. Okay, after the lecture, we can discuss this. Okay, personally, I think we can do this. One query I have got, weightage of this chapter. Beta weightage of this chapter is between 10 to 15 marks. 10 marks compulsory. Sometimes what happens is they ask you 5 plus 5. Sometimes they ask you 5 plus 10. But maximum cases I have seen 10 marks question. Okay, so you can 100% assume 10 marks of the paper from this chapter. Okay, 10 marks, very easy. You can easily secure 10 out of 10. Okay, so 10 marks is for sure of this chapter. And I'll tell you, in my opinion, you will find materials cost in your compulsory question in the next paper. In the upcoming paper, you will find materials cost in the compulsory question. This is my expectation. Okay, so 10 marks is bare minimum. This is what is going to come in this. One more query I have got, where ICI can complicate the adjustment. ICI can complicate the adjustments. See, ICI can complicate at first of all this this stock out kind of concept. Okay, stock out concept where the inventories goes all out. Okay, the stock out concept is where ICI can complicate things. Okay, the second thing where ICI can complicate is actually the EOQ thing, but it can be definitely managed. It's not like we can't manage it. EOQ thing can be slightly, they can give a good adjustment and all that. In landed cost, there is nothing much to complicate actually. Okay, so I feel they can slightly, if they have to complicate, they can make a good question in terms of EOQ and the various levels, and there they can slightly complicate things. But otherwise, overall, it is a very easy concept. Overall, it's a very easy chapter. Definitely can be managed. Okay, any other doubts? Perfect. Surely. So, students, let's go to the next one. That is the labor cost. Now, labor cost, let me again give you the brief. What exactly are we going to see in this chapter? Labor cost. Okay, so materials is done. By the way, students, very soon we are actually in the process of making a book, which is the most important questions book. Okay, we are actually making that. It is already in the development phase. Okay, the most important question book. Now, what is the book going to have? This will going to have the questions which are the most important from your exam perspective, and that too chapter wise. Okay, so chapter wise will be having recent 4 exam papers, including May 23. 4 exam papers, including May 23. Okay, which was just finished. We have 4 RTPs, including November 23 also, which is relevant for your paper. November 23 RTP. We are having MTPs also, including November 23 MTPs. Okay, so we are in the process of doing this. Actually, MTPs have not yet released. Only one MTP has released. Okay, so other than that, everything is done. Okay, so we'll be slowly uploading this on our app also. Okay, this book where you will find all these questions, all these which are the most important questions for any exam. Okay, the recent paper questions, the recent RTP questions, and the MTP questions, and RTPs like 4 RTPs, 4 MTPs, and 4 past exam questions. These 12 questions, if you do of all the chapter, I bet you on this. Like out of 100 questions, you can easily go anywhere between 60 to 70 marks from this 12 questions only of that chapter. Okay, anywhere, like even more than that. In fact, out of my past experience, I can tell you, like ICA has always been asking roughly 70 marks questions from this only. Okay, so we are in the process of finalizing it. We'll be uploading this on the app very soon, probably in 2 days or something. Okay, the next chapter, labor cost. Okay, now what is labor cost? Labor is basically anything what you pay to your employees, any kind of cost, okay, any kind of payment which you are making to your employees. Like for example, you are making payments for their overtimes, you are making payments for that bonus, for their provident funds, for their you know employee state insurance schemes, nighttime allowances, okay, and so many other food allowances are there, like concessional food benefits are there. So there are so many things which you normally give to your employees, and whatever you give to your employees will form part of the labor cost. Will form part of the labor cost. Remember that. Anything, whatever you wish to give to your labor, that will form part of the labor cost. Now, this labor cost, okay, in this particular chapter, what we have to do is there are some concepts what we are going to see over here. One is overtime. There's idle time also, but idle time is very easy. Okay. Second is what we are going to see is the first will be seeing the overtime. Second will be seeing the like what all we'll be paying them. Like one is idle time, and then you have this PF, ESI, okay, all that stuff. Overtime is something important. Then you have systems of wages payment. systems of wage payment, where you have the like four systems: time based system, piece based system, you have that Rowan system, Halsey system. So system of wage payments we have over there. The fourth one, so overtime is done, idle time, ESI is then, system of wage payments are there. You have the labor turnover. Okay, you have the labor turnover also in this chapter. Labor turnover is basically how fast your labors are moving. Okay, how fast new workers are coming, how fast the old workers are going, like that. Okay, so these are the four important things which we are going to study in this chapter. Okay, overtime is there, idle time is there, PF, ESI and all that, and then you have systems of wage payments, you have the labor turnover. Also, there are some things like this: timekeeping, time booking, punch card, metal disc method, and all that. Okay, but that is not that relevant. Okay, that is not that great. So, we'll be having just an overview of that. Now, see this. So, what all you have in your employee cost? So, what any kind of benefit that you give to your employee, maybe in cash, maybe in kind. You can give them allowances, overtime, contribution to provident fund, and allowances like that. Now, there are two types of employees. One is direct employee cost and second one will be the indirect employee cost. Now, students, what are direct employees? Basically, those employees which are directly one-on-one correlated with your production. Okay, these are those employees which are directly one-on-one correlated with the production. Like if you increase those workers, your production will increase. I'll give one example. For suppose a company which is engaged in the production of fabrics. Now, fabrics in sense like ready-made dresses. Okay, let us take the example of Levi's. Let us take the example of Levi's. Now, Levi's is we all know it's a clothes manufacturer. Okay, it is producing jeans, it is producing t-shirts. Now, for them, tailors. Can you tell me what are the tailors? Are they direct labor or the indirect labor? Tailors. What are they? They will be direct labor or they will be indirect labor. You can write DL or IL. Okay, DL or IL. Direct labor or indirect labor. Levi's. For Levi's company, which is producing clothes, which is producing your jeans and t-shirts and all that, for them the tailors, okay, what are they? They are the direct labor or they are indirect labor? Perfect. Very good. Very good. Everybody, your answer is correct, right? It is nothing but the direct labor. It is nothing but the direct labor. Remember that. It is nothing but the direct labor. Because the more tailors you are going to have, the more and more output you can give, right? So they are one-on-one correlated. So these are direct labor which are directly traceable, economically traceable. Okay. So they are direct labor. And now suppose in the Levi's factory, there are some cleaners. So, or maybe our security guards, if I can tell you, security guards. So there are some cleaners, there are some security guards. Okay, now what are they? Understand? If I have more cleaners, झाड़ू मारने वाले ज्यादा लगा दिए या सिक्योरिटी गार्ड ज्यादा लगा लिए, तो बेटा क्या उससे प्रोडक्शन बढ़ेगा? क्या प्रोडक्शन इज नॉट गोइंग टू इंक्रीज, राइट? प्रोडक्शन उससे नहीं बढ़ता. तो अंडरस्टैंड दिस थिंग, दिस आर आल्सो लेबरर्स. मेहनत ये भी कर रहे हैं, दिस आर आल्सो लेबरर्स, बट दे विल क्लासिफाइड टू बी इनडायरेक्ट लेबरर्स. They are indirect labor. Okay, so those who can trace, those whom you can trace, those who will increase the production, they are direct labors, and those who may not increase the production, they are called as indirect labors. Okay, now students, why you have to control the employee cost? Similarly, material cost we also have to control. Why we are controlling this cost? See, materials is the most important cost of the element. Material is the most important element of the entire cost of the product, right? So if the I want the cost of the output to be lower, then I want the cost of the materials also to be lower. Similarly, employee is also a significant component of the total cost. So in that case, if I want the total cost to be minimum, I must keep the wages to be minimum. I must keep a check. I must keep a control on the employees, right? I must keep a control on the employees. I must keep a control on the cost of them. Okay. Now, what all will you see when you are doing a employee control? Okay. So you will see what are the requirements of the job. You will do a time and motion study. Sir, what is this time and motion study? Beta, motion study means like if there is a particular job, what all are the activities to be done in that job, and for that activities, how much time is required. So we have to study the two things. If there is a job, what are the activities involved in that job? That is called as the motion study. And in time study, in those activities, what is the time to be required on the various these things? Okay, so that is time and motion study. Okay, so remember that you must maintain a control over the employee turnover, right? Employee turnover has to be minimum. Perfect, right? Employee turnover, the employees coming and going should be the minimum over there, right? Next, job evaluation and merit rating. Job evaluation, merit rating means what? So basically, you have to scientifically study the jobs, okay, what the job requires and what are the qualities your employees are having, what quality you require for that job, and are the employees suitable for that job. You'll have to check all that, okay. Then you must keep a control over timekeeping, bookkeeping. Now, timekeeping is basically keeping a check when the employees are coming, when they are going. Time booking is basically recording how much they are actually working. Like, for example, suppose you come to a class in the morning 9 a.m. and you go in the evening at 5 p.m. So you are there in the classroom for roughly 8 hours, but you are not studying for the 8 hours. So timekeeping record will show you are there for 8 hours, but time booking will show that you have studied for only 6.5 hours. So time booking shows your real output and timekeeping just shows for how much time you were there. In fact, the gap of this two is always the idle time. Okay, it is always the idle time. So you must keep a check on the idle time. You must keep a check on the overtime. Now, there are some wages and incentive systems you must apply to control your employee cost, employee productivity, and all. Now, students, timekeeping, if I talk about, timekeeping is just to maintain records of when the employees are coming and when they are going. So for maintaining this records, when the employees are coming and when the employees are going, you generally use very simple techniques like attendance register method. सिंपल, आया जब नोटरी नोटिंग कर लिया, ये आदमी ये बंदा इतने बजे आया है और जब गया आपने नोट कर लिया. सो अटेंडेंस रजिस्टर मेथड. ओके, so why we are doing this? For preparation of payroll, for calculating overtime, for ascertaining employee cost, for controlling employee cost, for ascertaining idle time, for disciplinary purposes, for distribution of overheads also, we are maintaining this timekeeping records. The first method was attendance register, and the second manual method again is the metal disk method or token method, where every employee will be given a token. They have to submit the token when they are coming to the factory, and whenever they are going out, they will take it back. Okay, whenever they are going out, they will take the token back. So the token signifies that you are attending the work, you are in the factory as of now. There are some mechanical or automated methods which have come in recently, like a punch card. Everybody will be given a card. You have to swipe the card, or you have to just show the card to a scanner, and that's it. It will mark your attendance. Then is a biometric attendance system, thumbnails, not thumbnails, sorry, uh, basically thumbprints, right? And you have this fingerprint scanner, you have the eye retina scanner. So these are all biometric attendance systems which are also in place as of now. Time booking. Now, time booking is a method in which we actually record how much has the employee worked. How we calculate the time booking? So students, in time booking, what we do is we make actually two types of cards. One is a time card or a job card. Time card is basically given to all the employees. Wherever you go and work, go to the supervisor, write the in time, out time, and take the signature of the supervisor. Okay, that is a time card. And what a job card is, suppose there is a factory, I'll give you an example in detail. Suppose there is a factory of 1000 workers. and there are 20 supervisors. So if I am following a time card system, I will give time cards. I'll give the time cards to all 1000 employees. I'll give the time cards to all 1000 employees. These 1000 employees, wherever they will go to any supervisor, okay, they will go there. Suppose there is supervisor A, they will come to A, they will write the in time, out time, okay, and then they will take the signature of A. Similarly, the next employee, he will also do like that. Next employee, he will also do like that. And this is how time cards are maintained on an employee to employee basis. So what this time card will record? This time card will record that this employee has worked for how many hours under job A or under supervisor A. Okay, it will just not record when he has attended and when he has not. It will actually record how many hours it has worked. Similarly, we can do one more system. Rather than giving time cards to 1000 employees, just do one thing. Give the supervisors 20 job cards. Don't give any card to the employee. Just give 20 job cards to the 20 supervisors. Tell supervisor A, in your job card, just write the employee codes. Just write the employee codes, which employees are attending your job, their in time, their out time, and submit it. Finish. Take the initial of the employee. So here, the job cards are maintained by the supervisors and only 20 job cards will be made, and this will be a very easy thing. Now the supervisors will keep a track who are attending their jobs, okay, what was their in time, what was their out time, okay, their initials will be always keeping with them. Everybody clear with this? Any doubts? Have you understood the time card system and the job card? These are basically recording the data. These are recording for how many hours you have actually worked. Okay, attendance register will just tell you that whether you are in the factory or not, but it will not tell you for actually have you worked or not. But these systems will actually tell like for how many hours were you actually working under Mr. A. Everybody clear with this? Now, how to make the payments? So when you are making the payments to your employees, okay, perfect. When you are making payments to the employees, take their attendance and time details from obviously the time registers. Then you will list down all the employees as per the payroll. Then you will calculate their wages and incentives. You will make all the payments after deduction of PF, ESI, TDS, and you will also deposit the tax. You will deposit the liabilities. Now talking about idle time is the time at which they are remaining free. They are not working, but we are paying them. Idle time is something where they are actually working, they are actually idle, but we are paying them. Okay, so remember that. Idle time is basically where we are paying, but they are not working. So it can be two things. It can be normal also, it can be abnormal also. So what is normal idle time? Basically, for example, like their time for lunch. So they are not working at the time of lunch, but we are paying for that. It's not like we are not paying for that period, right? So that's a normal idle time. So abnormal idle time is something like, for example, raw material was not there, so production had stopped. Yeah, strike is going on. Okay, या ऐसा भी हो सकता है, let's say machine breakdown हो गया है, ठीक है. So in that case, there is an abnormal idle time. There is time like they cannot do the work. So in those cases, abnormal idle time will always go to the costing P&L, and normal idle time will be treated as a cost of production, and it will be included in the normal hour rate only. It will be included in the rate per hour only. For indirect workers, it will go to the overheads. So there are two workers. For direct workers, it will be included in the rate per hour only. The normal idle time will be included in the rate per hour. For indirect workers, it will go to the overheads. In which ways, for indirect workers like security guard is there, cleaners are there, their salary always go to the overheads only. Next, abnormal idle time always going to the costing P&L account. Talking about overtime. Now, students, overtime is something which is very important. In the recent RTPs also, in the recent MTPs also, I have seen questions coming from overtime. Okay, I don't know why institute is liking it so much, but institute has been asking questions on overtime. Okay, so we'll do it very carefully. First of all, what is overtime? Overtime means beyond normal working hours. Okay, the work which is getting done beyond the normal working hours is overtime. Now, when you are doing this overtime, okay, there are two payments which you will actually receive. One is your normal wages and one is the extra premium. Now, we all know the provisions of the Factories Act. Okay, now let me tell you, it is not mentioned over here. Let me tell you the provisions of Factories Act 1948. If any worker works for more than 9 hours in a day, okay, any worker works for more than 9 hours in a day or for more than 24 hours in a for more than 48 hours in a week, okay, then he is liable to get a overtime which is normally the double of the normal wage rate, okay, which is twice of the ordinary wage rate. Okay, I'll repeat the process again. I'll repeat the provision again. If a worker works for more than 9 hours in a day, एक दिन में 9 घंटे से अगर वो ज्यादा काम करता है, और he works for more than 48 hours in a week, एक हफ्ते में 48 hours से ज्यादा काम करता है, so he is liable to get a overtime which is double the rate of the ordinary wages. तो अगर उसका ordinary payment है let's say 250 rupees per hour, so he will be getting overtime at the rate of 500 rupees per hour. Okay, in which the 250 basic will be paid and 250 extra will be the overtime premium. Now, this overtime premium, what are the causes and the treatment of that? If the customer is telling you, I want the work to be done urgently, मैं आपको बोल रहा हूं ना पैसा लो आप काम करके दो. If the customer is insisting to do the overtime and finish the work fast, charge to the job directly, charge to the customer directly. If there is a shortfall in the production due to some unexpected development, then transfer to overheads. If, like for example, if there is some fault of the management, then charge to the management. Okay, charge to that particular department. If the market is rising, okay, if you have market is rising, if there are some suppose for example, if there is a worker shortage all the times, then you must inflate the rates to cover the overtime. And if there is overtime on account of abnormal conditions, charge to costing P&L account. Now, I'll tell you, there is one question based on this where you will find it a little confusing. Just give me a minute. I'll just open that question. So students, see this one now. This overtime. This question is from your textbooks, and see these are the points given. Where overtime is worked regularly throughout the year as a policy due to worker shortage, where overtime is worked irregularly to meet the requirements of production, and where overtime is worked at the request of the customer to expedite the job. How will you treat them? Students, I'll tell you the easy ones first. When it is at the request of the customer, charge it to the customer directly. Okay, so it will be treated as a direct expenditure. It will not be treated as an overhead. Will directly treat it as a direct expenditure, direct wages, and will charge to the customer. Where overtime is worked irregularly to meet the requirements of production. Okay, remember three things now. Where overtime is worked irregularly to meet the requirements of production, or due to what do you say, irregular demand, due to irregular demand, or for general production programs, in all the three, we directly charge it to overhead. Whatever the overtime premium we are paying, we will charge it to overheads. And where overtime is worked regularly throughout the year as a policy due to worker shortage, students, if the overtime is worked regularly, because there is worker shortage, we always have to make sure that the workers do overtime. Then it is treated as a part of the normal wages, and what we do is we inflate the wage rate per hour to cover overtime, to absorb overtime. Overtime is treated as normal over here, and we increase the wage rate of the remaining hours to account for the increase in such overtime payments. Have you all understood this? See, where the overtime is at the request of customer, charged to the customer directly. Where overtime is at due to fault of a department, charged to the department. Where overtime is on account of abnormal condition, charged to costing P&L. Where overtime is worked irregularly to meet the requirements of the production, where overtime is worked irregularly to meet the requirements of the production, then what you will do, you will charge it to overheads. Okay, where overtime is worked irregularly to meet the requirements of production or due to irregular demand or for general production programs, then what you do is you treat it as a overheads. You treat it as a overhead. Next, if the overtime is worked regularly because of worker shortage, students, this is the most important, and here 90% students goes wrong. If the overtime is worked regularly throughout the year as a policy due to worker shortage, then we inflate the wage rate to absorb the overtime. We inflate the normal wages to absorb the overtime. This is something which is very crucial, okay, and where maximum student goes wrong. Have you all understood this? How to inflate, sir? How to inflate the rate? If you will see this question, before and after working hours, 175% is the rate. On Sundays, 225% is the rate. Normal rate is 100 per hour. So normal time is 1 lakh hours. So 1 lakh into 100, answer will be 1 CR. That's the cost. 20,000 rate 175. 5,000 rate 225. Do this, you will get a total divided by 1,25,000 hours. You will get the answer of 117. It means that the rate per hour will be always assuming now will be 117, not 100 per hour. We will not consider the rate to be 100 per hour. We will consider the rate 117 per hour, and for any job, whatever the hours are there, we will multiply by 117. This will be done in case number A. When there is a shortage, do not treat them as separate. Just take the total of the cost, divide by total hours, and now the rate per hour will be same for every hour, be it on a Sunday, on a working day, it will be always 117. Everybody clear with this? Everybody clear? I'll suggest you try this as a homework. This question number 5. This question number 5. Now, this is not that easy, okay? So try this as a homework. Come on, those who are watching the video, kindly say yes or no. You have understood or not? But I always keep interacting. I know some topics in costing are there which are really challenging. Okay, I totally understand that. But keep on interacting, keep on working on these topics, because I have seen like labor was there in May 23 exam in a compulsory question, students. So we can't skip the compulsory ones. Okay, so remember that. Okay, Malika. Students, whenever it is done due to this thing, whenever overtime is worked regularly throughout the year because of worker shortage, then we treat it as the normal work. So what we do is we do not consider them as separate. We do not consider that the normal wage rate is 100 and for this hours it will be 175, for this hours 225. No. What we will do is, first of all, we'll calculate the total cost. The total cost will come something. I think it was coming 1 crore 43 lakh or something. It was coming. I don't remember the exact figure now. Divided by 1,25,000 hours. Okay. And I get 117. I get 117. It was 146.25. So it means that my rate per hour will be 117 now. Okay. The rate per hour will be 117. Okay, and I'll treat like whatever the job I'm doing. Okay, even if it is done in normal hour, I'll charge rate 117. Even if it is done on a Sunday or on a before or after working hour, I'll charge at the rate of 117. Even on Sunday also the rate will be treated as 117. This has to be done if you are having shortage and you are working overtime across the year. But suppose if the like for example, suppose if it is due to general production programs, then what you will do is for this 1 lakh hours, 1 lakh hours, 100 rupees entirely will go to basic wages. For 20,000 hours, 100 will go to basic wages. Remaining 75, which we are going to pay extra for normal working hours, will be go to overhead. For 5,000 hours, the rate is 225. So 100 will go to wages. 125 extra what we are paying will go to what do you say, overheads, like that. So this is how you have to segregate this. I hope Malika that helps, but I'll still tell you, try this problem one more time on your own. Okay. Next, now systems of wage payment. There are 4 systems of wage payment. First is time rate system, which is very easy. Time rate system is very easy. Hours worked into rate per hour. Hours worked into rate per hour. Simple. जितना उन्होंने काम किया into rate per hour कर लीजिए, you will directly get what is their wages. Piece rate system. Again, it is very easy. Number of pieces produced into rate per piece. Rate per piece. मतलब आपने जैसे उन्हें कहा है कि आपको you will pay them 20 rupees per unit. You will pay them 20 rupees per unit. Okay, and they have created, let's say, 500 units. So what you will do is 500 into 20, you will pay them 10,000, like that. Okay, so the number of pieces produced into the rate per piece. That's a piece rate system. Next is Halsey premium plan, where you motivate the workers to work more. Okay, and you give them a premium. You give them some benefit of that. Now, how you give them? The first one is hours worked into rate per hour. This is the basic wages what we pay them, plus 50% of time saved. It means that 50% into time saved into rate per hour. So what we do in Halsey premium plan, suppose if the workers are working very efficiently, they have saved some time for us. So what we do is, whatever the time they are saving for us, we'll give them 50% of that as an incentive, as a bonus. Under a Rowan premium plan, There's only 4 are there in your syllabus now. Under Rowan premium plan, the formula is hours worked into rate per hour. This though you will get only as the basic payment, plus you will get a bonus now. Now what will be the bonus? Time saved, let's say time allowed, not allowed, sorry, time taken upon time allowed into time saved into rate per hour. Now you can see in the formula for Halsey, there was time saved into rate per hour is 50%. So time saved into rate per hour is over here also. It is the same. The only difference is in Rowan premium plan, the bonus is in the ratio of time taken is to time allowed. In Halsey, it was straight away 50%. In Rowan, the bonus is in the ratio of time taken to time allowed. Okay, time taken upon time allowed into time saved into rate per hour. This is how it works. Okay, everybody understood this? Everybody understood this? In the Halsey plan, you will directly give the employees bonus of 50% of whatever the time they are saving. But in Rowan premium plan, whatever the time they are saving, you will give them in the ratio of time taken to time allowed. Always remember, the total of this two will be always this. Time taken plus time saved is actually time allowed. Time taken plus time saved is actually time allowed. So can you do one thing? Just calculate this, please. Come on. Solve for question 6 and get me the answer under Halsey system. What will be the wages that you will pay? What will be the wages that you will pay under the Halsey system? Come on, calculate that. Come on, students, do calculate, please. Yes, students, do calculate. Come on. Time rate is given 60. Okay, I've already got many answers from Arya, Malika, Abhijit, Soham, Prasanna. Okay, Prasanna, you are having a different answer. So time rate is 60, time allowed is 8 hours, time taken is 6 hours, and time saved is 2 hours. Okay. So we all know what will be the earnings under Halsey. First of all, we'll give them the basic payment, that is hours worked into rate per hour, right? Hours worked into rate per hour. So basically, time allowed is like hours worked is time taken is 6 hours into 60. So 6 into 60, students, 6 into 60, so that is 360, right? 6 into 60 is 360 hours worked into rate per hour. Now we have to give them the bonus. Bonus is 50% of time saved, right? So time saved is 2 hours. So bonus will be 50% into time saved 2 hours into rate per hour 60. So that will be obviously 60 rupees. 360 plus 60, answer will be 420 rupees. Answer will be 420 rupees. Okay, perfect, students, perfect. So this is how we calculate the earnings of the worker under the Halsey system, right? This is how we calculate for Halsey. Can you do one thing? For the same question, do calculate under the Rowan scheme. Do calculate under the Rowan scheme. Come on. What happens under Rowan system? We all know. in a Rowan system, the basic wage will be the same. Okay, hours worked into rate per hour, that 360 is going to be the same. But for the bonus, what is the formula? The bonus formula is time taken upon time allowed, into time saved into rate per hour. So time taken is basically 6, upon time allowed was 8, time saved is 2 hours, rate per hour is 60. So that will be 120 into 6 divided by 8. So that is 90 rupees will be the bonus. So 360 basic and 90 rupees as the bonus. So the total payment will be 450 rupees. The total payment will be 450 rupees. Absolutely perfect, students. Okay, one or two errors are there. Otherwise, all the answers are correct. Perfect. Any doubts, students? Any queries? Okay, students. So we have tried to calculate this. Okay, we have tried to calculate this answer. Okay, where the time rate is. I'll teach you something interesting in this. Rate per hour was rupees 60. Okay, rate per hour was rupees 60. Time taken 6 hours. Time saved 2 hours. Time allowed 8 hours. Can you do one thing? Friends, can you do one thing in this? What if we calculated and answer we got 450 rupees? What if the time taken is 2 hours and the time saved is 6 hours? What will happen? Calculate with the help of Rowan system. If the time taken is 2 hours and the time saved is 6 hours. Earlier we got the bonus as 90 rupees. We calculated and we got the bonus 90 rupees under Rowan system. Now what will be the bonus? Come on, calculate. Under the Rowan scheme, what will be the bonus now? Under the Rowan scheme, what will be the new bonus? It is coming the same. It is coming the same, right? It is also coming 90 rupees only. Okay, it is coming 90 rupees only, right? Why I asked you to solve this, students, in a Rowan system, there is a speciality that a high efficient worker also earns the same as a low efficient worker. See this, if this is worker A and this is worker B, worker A is working for 6 hours and worker B is working the same thing in only 2 hours. But still both of them are getting the same bonus. This is the speciality under only and only Rowan system. And why this happens? Because see the formula for bonus was time taken into time saved into rate per hour, and denominator was time allowed. What happens is, suppose this was 6 and this was 2, right? This was 6 and this was 2. Like time saved, taken 6 hours and saved 2 hours. Or if I change them and make this 2 and 6, it is still the same, because this is the same, time allowed is also same. So what happens is, in the numerator they are just replacing themselves. That is why the answer always comes same. Okay, the answer will be the same only. So high efficient worker will also earn the same as the low efficient worker. So the worker which is working for 3 hours and saving 5 hours, or a worker working for 5 hours and saving only 3 hours, they both will get the same amount of bonus. So that is the speciality of Rowan system. In a Rowan scheme, a high efficient worker also has the same as the low efficient worker. In fact, if I draw a graph of the bonus, if I draw a graph of the bonus in a Halsey scheme, the graph will be like this. In a Halsey scheme, the graph will be like this. The more and more you save, the more and more you will be your bonus. But in a Rowan scheme, what happens is, if you start saving, your bonus will increase, but after a point of time, the bonus will also start decreasing. So that is the bonus under Rowan. That is why persons saving 7 hours or person saving only 1 hour will get the same bonus. Person saving 3 hours and person saving 5 hours are getting the same bonus, like that. Okay, they are getting the same bonus. So this is how it works for a Rowan scheme. I hope it is clear for everyone. If you have any doubts, any queries, you can definitely ask. Now there is one concept of efficiency rating. Efficiency rating is basically, if you are taking lesser time than what was allowed, then you are treated as efficient. The formula for that is time allowed, basically the standard hours upon time taken into 100. Okay, so if the standard time was more, but if you are taking less time, then we say that you are an efficient worker. And last concept of the chapter is employee turnover. The last concept of the chapter is employee turnover, which actually tells you how fast are the employees going and coming. And for this, you have been provided with a lot of formulas to calculate the employee turnover, like how fast the turnover is changing, how fast the employees are changing. There are 3 different methods. One is replacement method, one is a separation method, and the third one is a flux method. In replacement method, the formula is number of employees replaced during the period upon average number of employees during the period. Okay. In a replacement method, the formula is number of employees replaced upon number of employees during the period. Now, sir, what do you mean by replace? Basically, the old employees going in and on that place, in their place, new employees coming in. So that is the replacement method. Okay. Separation method shows you average number, what percentage of employees are actually leaving the organization. Number of employees separated, they have left out. The number of employees separated during the period upon average number of employees during the period. Sir, how to calculate average number of employees? Opening plus closing upon 2, right? Opening number of employees plus closing number of employees upon 2. So that will give you average number of employees. So number of employees separated upon average number of employees into 100, and in replacement method, average number of employees replaced upon average employees into 100. So understand, separation is basically they are going out. Either they are going out voluntarily or you are kicking them out. Okay, it's one and the same. These are separation method. And in replacements, what happens is the people are going out and in their place new persons are coming in. That is replacement method. So replacement checks how many you have refilled, and separation just checks how many you have removed, like that. And the third one is a flux method, which actually incorporates both. In fact, it incorporates new joinings also. What happens is when you expand very fast, then that time it is not necessary what the new workers are coming are always in the place of replacement only. No, sometimes when you expand, you have new openings, new joinings, new places, like that. So flux method can be with the help of 2 formulas. One is with expansion, one is without expansion. So if we are not expanding, then flux method will tell you number of employees separated plus replaced upon average number of employees. Basically, adding this 2 will give you flux. Number of employees separated plus number of employees replaced, add this 2, okay, you will get the flux. But sometimes if you are expanding, you have new joinings also. In fact, replacements plus new joinings are called as accessions. Replacements plus new joinings are called as what? Accessions. So in the flux method, if you are expanding, then number of separations plus number of accessions, that is replacements plus new joinings upon average number of employees, that will give you flux method. That will show you how fast your labors are changing with the help of how fast your employees are changing as a result of employee turnover. Students, let me repeat it again. In separation method, employees are going out, okay, voluntarily, or we are terminating them. In replacement method, those who have gone out, in those places we are getting some new employees. That is the replacement method. Okay. ओके बेटा, आई एम डूइंग दैट, डोंट वरी. ओके, सो सेपरेशन में आपका जितने एम्प्लॉयज गए छोड़ के वो आपने ले लिए, या तो वॉलंटरली गए या हमने उन्हें किक मार के निकाल दिया. इन रिप्लेसमेंट मेथड व्हाट वी आर डूइंग इज, जो लोग छोड़ के गए उनके जगह पे जो हमने रिफिल किया, दैट इज रिप्लेसमेंट मेथड. जनरली रिप्लेसमेंट का आंसर सेपरेशन से कम ही रहता है, क्योंकि रिप्लेसमेंट में मतलब सेपरेट जितने हुए उससे कम ही आप रिप्लेस करेंगे या उतने ही रिप्लेस करेंगे. रेयरली ऐसा भी होता है कि रिप्लेसमेंट ज्यादा हो सकता है कि लास्ट ईयर छोड़ के गए थे, उनका रिप्लेसमेंट अभी हुआ है, लाइक दैट. एंड द थर्ड वन इज अ फ्लक्स मेथड. फ्लक्स मेथड व्हाट इट डज इज बेसिकली दोनों का एडिशन, सेपरेशन और रिप्लेसमेंट. ओके, और अगर वहां पे न्यू ज्वाइनिंग्स है, क्वेश्चन में अगर न्यू ज्वाइनिंग्स भी है, मतलब हम लोग एक्सपांड कर रहे हैं और नए एम्प्लॉयज भी आ रहे हैं जो पहले के रिप्लेसमेंट नहीं थे, और नए ऐसे न्यू एम्प्लॉयज आ रहे हैं, तो उन्हें भी अपने को लेना पड़ता है. सो सेपरेशंस प्लस एक्सेशंस, या मैं कह सकता हूं सेपरेशंस प्लस रिप्लेसमेंट प्लस न्यू ज्वाइनिंग्स अपॉन एवरेज नंबर ऑफ फोर्स. स्टूडेंट्स, तो सेपरेशन मेथड फॉर्मूला, सेपरेशन अपॉन एवरेज लेबर फोर्स इंटू 100. रिप्लेसमेंट मेथड, रिप्लेसमेंट अपॉन एवरेज लेबर फोर्स इंटू 100. फ्लक्स, फ्लक्स में क्या होता है? separations plus replacements upon average labor force into 100, or separations plus replacements plus new joinings upon average labor force into 100. Okay, or separations, see this replacement and new joinings can be treated as accessions upon labor force into 100. This replacements and new joinings are together called as accessions. अब मुझे बताओ बेटा, आपको अगर कोई कंफ्यूजन है तो इन चारों, इफ यू हैव एनी कंफ्यूजन इन ऑल दिस. सर व्हाट इज इट मेजरिंग? बेटा इज ट्राइंग टू शो कि आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में एम्प्लॉयज कितने फास्ट मूव होते हैं या कितने फास्ट नए एम्प्लॉयज आते हैं. ठीक है, याद रखिएगा, एम्प्लॉयज ज्यादा अगर छोड़ छोड़ के जाते हैं ना, तो आपको बार बार ट्रेन कराना पड़ेगा, बार बार उनका इंटरव्यू लेते बैठना पड़ेगा. सो लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स यू विल हैव टू डू. ओके, सो रिमेंबर. Let's do question 14 right now, and this is where we'll conclude, okay, this chapter. Accountant of Y Limited has computed employee turnover rates for the year ended 31st March 21 as 10%, 5%, 3% under flux, replacement and separation. तो बेटा उन्होंने फ्लक्स में कैलकुलेट किया 10%, रिप्लेसमेंट में कैलकुलेट किया 5% एंड सेपरेशन में 3%. If the number of workers replaced during the quarter is 30, find out the number of workers for the quarter, recruited and joined, left and discharged, and employee turnover rates. एक काम करते बेटा, सबसे पहले उन्होंने आपको क्या दिया? नंबर ऑफ वर्कर्स रिप्लेस ड्यूरिंग द क्वार्टर इज 30. स्टूडेंट्स, दे हैव गिवन यू, सी द रिप्लेसमेंट फॉर्मूला. You all know the replacement formula. The formula is replacements is equal to replacement upon average labor force into 100. So they have given you in the question that the number of workers replaced is 30. So 30 upon average labor force into 100. And what was the replacement rate? What was the rate? So the rate was, under the replacement method, the rate was 5%. The rate was 5%. So phi is equal to 30 upon L into 100. Now can you calculate what is the average labor force? Come on students, calculate what is the average labor force. In the replacement method, they have calculated like the number of replacements are 30. Okay, the number of replacements are 30. Okay, so and the replacement turnover rate was 5, right? So we have kept this as 5, replacements as 30. Now you immediately tell me what is the average labor force. So is it coming 600 average labor force? I'll transfer this over here, this over here. Is it coming 600? Now average labor force is coming 600. Perfect. Soham, Arya, Abhijit, perfect. Avisha, Sanmitha, Sriraksha, good. So it is coming 600. Now he has told you that under the separation method, the rate was 3%. Perfect, students, perfect. Under the separation method, the rate was 3%. What we know the formula for separation method. Separation method, the rate was separations upon labor force into 100. So 3% is equal to separations upon average labor force. We have got 600 into 100. So calculate how many separations are there now. Calculate how many separations are there. Calculate how many separations are there. Is the separations coming 6 into 3, that is 18? Perfect. Absolutely perfect. So we have got this thing separations also, and we have got them as 18. Perfect. Everybody, your answers are correct. Okay, 18 is absolutely perfect. Now students, we have got left hand discharged. Okay, they were 18. Left hand discharge is basically separated. We have got the replacements also. Replacements was 30. Okay, now with the help of flux method, students, with the help of this flux method, do calculate accessions. Come on, do calculate accessions with the help of this flux method, which is 10%. Sir, what is the formula for flux method? Beta, for flux method, the formula is replace. Oh, so sorry. The flux method, the formula is separations plus accessions upon average labor force into 100. You can use accessions, you can use R plus N also, replacement plus new joinings, like that. But I am directly using accessions. So flux is coming how much? Flux is given 10%. Separations we have already calculated 18. Accessions I don't know. Labor force is 600 into 100. Now you calculate what are accessions. How many are accessions? Perfect, Moksha. Soham, Dhatri, Arya. Good. Arya, एक बार check करना वापस. Raksha, it is good. So 0 0 cut, 6 will go over there. 60 60 minus 18. So accessions are 42. Accessions are 42. Okay, 6 into 10, 60 minus 18 I'll get, that is 42. Now since accessions are 42, accessions means what? Replacement plus new joinings are 42. In the question it was given replacements are 30. So how many are new joinings? So new joinings are 12. They have not asked you, but still we have calculated the new joinings, but just to show you, okay, new joinings are coming 12. Okay, perfect, students. Now they have also asked you equivalent employee turnover rate for the year. Sir, what do you mean by this? Beta, for the quarter, if the rate is 10%, for the quarter, if the rate is 10%, what is the rate for the whole year? Tell me. If for the quarter the rate is 10%, what will be the rate for the whole year? For 3 months, it is just for 3 months that is 10%. So what will be for the entire 12 months now? It's very simple. 10% divide into, this is for just 3 months. So divide by 3 months, you'll get for 1 month. I want for 12 months. Answer will be 40%. Right? This 10% is for a quarter. Quarter consists of 3 months, right? So this is the equivalent employee turnover rate for the entire year. This is equivalent employee turnover rate for the entire year. Okay. Now, similarly, can you calculate the employee turnover rate under the replacement method for the entire year? Come on, calculate for the replacement method for the entire year. All of you, your previous answers are correct. Come on, calculate for the replacement method for the entire year. Correct. Soham, Arya, Raksha, Moksha, Arya, Nagesh, Avisha. All of you, your answers are correct. It's very simple, isn't it? Avni, Shrika, Shikha. All of you, your answers are correct. So basically 5%, that is for 3 months. So what will be for 12 months? Answer will be 20%, right? Answer will be 20%. So this is how it works, right? This is how it works. We can easily calculate the turnover rates for the entire year also. Okay. So this is all from the second and the third chapter, what we have done today. Okay. This is all from the second and third chapter. Now, in the theory, a small topic is given, like why employees do actually turn over, why they leave the organizations, why new employee come in. So why they leave is basically for their personal causes, can be for jobs for betterment, premature retirement, domestic problems may be there. Okay, they may be discontent among jobs. There can be, the business itself is of a seasonal nature. There's location of plant is changed. They have got disabled, disciplinary measures, materials are in shortage, like that. There can be some avoidable causes also. They may be dissatisfied with the job, the remuneration, the hours of work. They may not be having a very good relationship with the management. There's no training, there's no promotional facilities, there's no medical facilities, there are low wages. What are the effects? See, if more employees goes, you more and more you have to take the screening, more you have to do the training, more wastages is going to happen. So production disturbs, new workers जो आएंगे उनकी efficiency low रहेगी, ट्रेनिंग बार बार कराना पड़ेगा, सामान टूटेगा बार बार क्योंकि नए एम्प्लॉयज आएंगे तो उनको ज्यादा समझेगा नहीं, बार बार रिक्रूटमेंट के खर्चे करने पड़ेंगे. तो दिस एम्प्लॉय टर्नओवर एक्चुअली हैज टू कॉस्ट इन्वॉल्व. आप एम्प्लॉय को जाने मत दो, उसे थोड़ा एक्स्ट्रा सैलरी दे के रोक के रखिए, उसे मेडिकल बेनिफिट्स दीजिए, पेंशन दीजिए और बेनिफिट्स दीजिए. दिस आर द प्रिवेंटिव कॉस्ट दैट विल स्टॉप द एम्प्लॉय फ्रॉम गोइंग. बट इन केस इफ इट डज गो, then there are some replacement costs which you have to do, like you have to recruit, you have to train them, you have to there'll be some abnormal breakages, extra wages due to inefficiency and like that. These are the costs which are there because of employee turnovers. So this is all from the second and the third chapter, okay, of cost accounting. Okay, we have taken up the bigger chapters first. Okay, we have taken up the bigger chapters. So from the next session onwards, again, we'll be doing this marathons, okay, from tomorrow. Thank you so much. I'll see you then tomorrow. Till then, take care. Bye-bye. Keep studying. If you have any doubts in the second and the third chapter, do come and ask me tomorrow, okay? Then, thank you so much. You can even text me your